As always, I have to make sure before I start saying anything that we are officially live.
Hopefully somebody's watching this, otherwise, you ruined it.
Well, not yet, but still. Aha! Yes! We will see the 3 pictures in a moment because the screen just went black, so that means that it should be live any moment.
We're going to hear backwards Latin.
Lysol spray kills 99%.
That's right, Lysol.
Screen went black, and all of a sudden, Finn Balor lookalike starts showing up from the bottom of the screen.
We'll get to that. Finn Balor is Bagul, confirmed. So we are a little bit late, but then again, this time you can't completely blame it on us because they ran over tonight almost 30 minutes.
You bastards. I mean, awesome bastards, but still.
Yes, they're the reasons why I didn't have a slice of chocolate cake. Damn.
I'm just drinking water right now, and we are going to talk about the just completed, and I can literally say that now because it just finished. It's not we're not waiting a half hour. It just finished a few minutes ago. NXT Takeover Brooklyn, and we're going to talk about the wild night that we just saw. And as always, I am joined by my partner in crime from across the pond, Ashley.
Oh, I'm sort of pissed and pleasant at the same time. We'll get to that.
Yeah, that'll be mentioned later on. And as always, joining us is Mr. Entertainment. Welcome back to the Popcast, Aaron.
It's great to be back on the first night of a lawn pop weekend, wrestling full.
So we have a couple of things I want to mention before we get started tonight. So we had 2 special guests, one of which could still join us later on in the evening. The other of which, unfortunately, had an issue with scheduling. So he will be joining us tomorrow for SummerSlam and also for Raw on Monday. We're going to be talking about that in the tomorrow's podcast.
The post show.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. And man, I'm telling you right now, there is a turf war with NXT tonight between Brooklyn and Orlando because I'm telling you, Full Sail sucks chants were prevalent tonight.
Kind of thought it was selfish, but
After seeing the scale of tonight's show, they might have a point.
Yeah, but you think back to the NXT takeovers that we had at Full Sail, and NXT takeover did start at Full Sail, and yes, NXT does have to grow. I'm all for that, and fans should be too. But that's just the hardcore loyal fan base that NXT has in that little Full Sail live that only fits about 1,000 people. So I can see it both ways of how people are pissed that it left Full Sail, but who knows? It may come back to Full Sail for NXT takeover. It may never. I'm
interested in the numbers. If the attendance for SummerSlam tomorrow is less than tonight's NXT, I've answered your question.
Yeah, pretty much.
Would be interesting because obviously
the same numbers of product in inverted commas is more over than the mainstream.
Right now, it definitely is. And it was one of those games, we're getting way ahead of ourselves right now, but it was one of those games tonight, follow this. Can you top this? Okay, SummerSlam, you're up next.
Yeah. And SummerSlam's in the corner going, oh, shit.
So the Undertaker's going to kick Brock in the junk again, and
Sting's going to kick Taker in the junk again. That hasn't happened.
Sting won't be there. He'll show up on Raw Monday night. So.
And Kevin Owens lost tonight. He's going to lose again tomorrow night. Yeah, 2 nights in a row.
Yeah. No, that's not going to happen.
Oh, I can see it now. I mean, Kevin Owens losing a big match again. I can see it now. I wouldn't be surprised. Because, you have to see it this way. They're finally, in fans' eyes, they're finally pushing Cesaro. I think they had this push planned a long time ago. He has a new T-shirt. He has a new T-shirt. He's in a big match. It's going to steal the show. I think everyone's thinking Cesaro and Owens going to steal the show. Owens got a busy week. And, but I think Cesaro is going to come out on top on that. I'm not sure if that was my prediction for tomorrow's match, but
That would be a no.
Exactly. So I went with Owens because I think, he needs to, have a winning streak. He can't be on a streak like, Bray Wyatt on pay-per-view, just losing, or Dean Ambrose was on.
Well, here's the thing you have to understand, Aaron, and we're getting way ahead of ourselves here, but when it comes down to it, you don't have to win matches to get over.
Oh, no, I understand that, and that's something that the fans are never going to realize because, I do understand that because, as long as you're made look good in the match, you lost, that's okay. I mean, yeah, it's in the record books, but it's not like, a bad losing streak. I mean, superstars like Adam Rose and Fandango and R-Truth that, that are not on losing streaks, they're not, they're definitely jobbers. But for fans to say someone like Owens is a jobber is completely nonsense.
No, not even close to being true.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we mention the other turf war that happened tonight?
We'll talk about that later, actually. We got a couple of things I want to mention first. Before we get started with anything, I want to take you guys back in the Wayback Machine to February. It was May 20th exactly. We're going back to February because that's what I decided to say first. But we're going to May 20th. And on May 20th was Unstoppable. Unstoppable was the last time that we did an NXT Popcast. Well, because of Google, you only got about an hour and a half of what was pretty much a 3-hour Popcast. So we're hoping that lightning doesn't strike twice tonight.
So tonight is 3 hours, guaranteed.
Oh, God, we're going to talk wrestling for 9 hours this week. It's going to be glorious. Oh, my. That's the reason I've got water here, because I have to make sure my throat stays unparched.
It's a shame I can't queue up Funaki. Indeed.
So it's really awesome to start the show. Like before we even get to the actual pre-show itself, one of the cool things I was seeing was a lot of people that were at the Barclays Center tonight. They were tweeting out pictures of the crowd waiting to get in the building, and it was like, this feels like WrestleMania. It really does.
Yeah.
Because this is like a WrestleMania weekend. That's exactly what this weekend is.
Yeah.
This is where I want to bring up the turf war.
Go ahead.
Because obviously tonight at the same time,
At
Ring of Honor had
MCU,
their
yeah.
show at
MCU.
Park.
Field of Honor tonight, exactly.
And a lot of people were going, they're going to suffer with attendance. Apparently attendance was approximately 2,000.
It's not bad.
Which last year, with no show going against them, they got 1,250.
That's not bad at all.
Arguably, everybody won. Also, one of the matches, which was a gauntlet match, featured Bushwhacker Luke coming out. And instead of getting in the ring, he just did a home run with his march round the bases and got counted out.
That's awesome.
Oh, that was the ROH event they ran.
Yeah.
Had a main event of Okada and Roderick Strong, which sounds absolutely amazing.
I wish I knew.
That wasn't even the main event, though.
That's what it lists.
It wasn't. The main event was Lethal and Nakamura versus Red Dragon.
Yeah, where's that listed on the paper I have here? That's wonderful.
That's the card.
Thank you, PW Insider.
That's the card, not the results.
No, these are the results.
Oh. Well,
They missed the main event.
Can't always rely on the dirt sheets.
I don't consider PW Insider a dirt sheet.
I do.
They got a lot more. They got a little bit more credibility than some sites do.
Well, I mean, just on a side note, like if it comes from Dave Metzler,
oh,
complete rumor.
That's what happened.
Okay, confirm.
And because this doesn't relate to the actual match itself, the reason why the crowd went weird during the main event.
Yes, I want to know.
3 or 4, I'd say idiots, but also, knowledgeable people, tried to throw streamers.
Oh, that's interesting.
And one of them got in the ring.
And security threw them out.
What?
Because apparently, streamers are fucking briefcases.
That's a good point, actually. Not really, but still.
Itami does it in Full Sail. Oh, suck the dick. You know, do it in an arena when a lot of crazier shit is probably going to happen even tomorrow or Monday. No, get him out. Rip his arms off. You know, decapitate him. We're not allowing him back in.
It just seemed like, you know, the whole crowd was just like focused on that one thing. I'm like, okay, hello, you guys have the main event. Like, first you guys say Full Sail sex, and now you're not even paying attention to the main event. I had no idea what was going on. And so what happened? Like, I know what happened, but like, did security like really take them down? Because everyone was like looking.
Yeah.
Literally, mainly focused. Wow. Well, that's a little.
PW Insider Mike Johnson, who obviously is there. That's what he said. So it's from the dirt sheet, so it's a lie. What actually happened is they got throughout, and then they threw the streamers.
Well, no, I mean, to clarify it being a dirt sheet, unless there was a correspondent there, yes, it's true. But like all these people that say have insider, you know, of what's happening or, you know, what's going to happen.
This is why my results came from 2 people that were there. So
exactly. As long as they're correspondents that they're there, of course, they saw it with their own eyes, they report it, whatnot.
So that was why things went chaotic in the main event. Makes sense.
Makes sense now, yep.
So apparently the Barclays Center had the Hells Angels as their security tonight.
Let's be
you throw a
honest.
streamer, come on, you're going down.
Very clever.
Let's be honest. The only bit of security that was missing tonight was Freight Train.
We'll get to that a little bit later. So, like I said, I was seeing the pictures being tweeted out. I saw the venue, and I saw the way they were setting up everything. The setup tonight looks sick. I absolutely loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And it felt right.
Large, but minimalist.
Yeah, it felt right.
And apparently the SummerSlam set was right behind it. That makes sense.
Makes sense. Completely. We might actually be saying that in 2 different meetings before this weekend's over.
Of course, that does imply that light-up ramp is going to be used for tomorrow as well.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
If they were crazy enough, Raw.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking we're going to get like that, you know, the elevated ramp entrance stage for SummerSlam that was glossy and shiny like we had last year.
It's possible.
Yeah, I think we might get that. But a smaller version because, well, you know, the set's behind the NXT Takeover, so that would provide more space to do it.
So we went early for the show to start. So if you were at the Barclays Center tonight, number 1, I wish I were you. And number 2, you got to watch 4 matches before the show even started. These matches were... These matches...
And an announcement.
Yeah, these matches... Yeah, we're going to talk about the announcement. Actually, I'll let you talk about the announcement.
So would, you bastard.
Oh, because you're the only one it affects officially in this situation. Okay, so these are taped to air this coming week on NXT, which makes perfect sense because Triple H went on Twitter and said there's going to be 4 extra matches, and a lot of people said, okay, fine, they're going to put them on the card. No, they're actually just taped them to be airing on NXT this coming week. So we get an 8-man tag between the Hype Bros and Enzo and Big Cass.
Finally, we'll get to hear that Enzo Amore and Big Cass introduction.
From what I heard, from what I was told, it was like blew the roof off the place.
Yeah, I knew it would.
And they took on the team of the Mechanics, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, as well as Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, quickly becoming one of my favorite tag teams. And then we saw Eva Marie get booed out of the building, and she faced Carmella.
It is Brooklyn.
Which got a huge blue pants chant, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that later. You're welcome, by the way, for calling that. And Bull Dempsey faced off against Elias Sampson, and the final match was Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Dana Brooke, and Emma 4-way for what I would presume to be a shot at the NXT Women's Championship somewhere down the line. If not at the next TakeOver.
Yeah.
That's my guess. And it was officially announced, I'll let you do the big announcement last, but Barclays Center is getting Raw on December 28th. So the Barclays Center is going to have 4 WWE branded shows
Okay.
in 2015.
Wait a minute. So they're gonna get Raw again?
They're getting Raw again December 28th.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Look at the crowd tonight, man.
No, I understand that, but there's other.
It's called Christmas.
Yeah.
It's called Christmas.
Oh, that's insane.
It's called Boxing Day. Traditionally, they go to Madison Square Garden.
That's right.
Traditionally, they stay close to Stamford because they can't be asked to go anywhere else.
Why can't they hold a show at Madison Square Garden for Raw or SmackDown? No,
it actually costs too much now.
Yeah.
The building rent went up, and no one can afford it.
They can do house shows there because they're not televised.
Correct.
But because of the cost it would be to actually get, normal shit in there.
Fair enough.
No, it was staying away. That's why Barclays Center and Izod Center and all the other places are now being, what's the new one? Where they, the one that's replacing Izod.
Oh yeah, I forgot what it's called. I knew it was
the building with a name. That'll do.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I would understand Izod Center, but Barclays Center again, really?
I think it's
down the line.
It's good justification because they get 3 shows. They sold out all 3 shows in one way or another. And because of that factor, why not give them one more Raw for the end of the year? I mean, It's going to be a great crowd. You're guaranteed you're going to make money, and you don't have to run an MSG, and you can run in a building that is now proven that it's actually going to do business.
Well, have they sold that Izod Center before, though?
Yeah.
Probably.
They were planning for it to sell out at SummerSlam until the developers sold out and decided to flatten the thing.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's true. It was going to be an Izod Center.
Also, keynote, as I'm joking on a chicken nugget.
Lucky?
They've also ruined our joke of doing the whole tickets are still available, because they're not.
Tickets are not still available. Well, tickets are still available if you don't mind getting mugged outside the Barclays Center.
Tickets are available probably from Crime Time, because they're all about the shouting.
Brooklyn. I really love how Taz was fighting with the people on Twitter. It's like, bro, I'm not going to be there. I don't know why you keep saying that.
Well,
Sting's there, so you've got to be there, Taz. All the other ex-TNA talents there.
Now, if Taz would show up tomorrow at SummerSlam, that I could see, but not tonight.
Got Steiner.
Oh,
What is this? Buzz about Taz suddenly coming back to WWE? I just cannot picture it.
I can, because they need a color guy that's not worthless.
As what? A commentator or a manager?
He'd be a commentator for sure.
I just can't picture that. I'd be very shocked if he came back to WWE, because it just seems like he's focused on his podcast he promoted his podcast, with TNA for 2-3 weeks, maybe not even a month, and then he just left TNA. And so I'm like, oh, he's probably focusing on a new career, which is the podcast. So, I mean, just from where he left off from TNA from that, I just can't picture him coming back to WWE. But if he does, then, of course you can reunite Michael Cole, but how does that – I mean, it's not a shakeup to the announce team, but it's going to be a major change to the announce team, because where does that leave Byron Saxton?
Well, Byron can stay there. JBL could go somewhere else.
That's what I would want. That's what I would want replaced. So then I'm all for it, and I do want it to happen. I just can't picture it happening. Maybe not SummerSlam, but maybe Raw, because they said something. There's a rumor going around. Obviously, it's not Taz, about this rumor, but there's something big that's going to happen on Raw on Monday night. I'm thinking either Sting or it's the coronation ceremony for John Cena being a 16-time WWE champion.
Cena's not winning tomorrow. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Cena's
No,
not
no,
one.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I do not want him to win. I'm just
My line.
going along with the LOL Cena wins trend because if he wins, then his T-shirt's spoiled. The ending.
No, his merch is null and void. That's not gonna happen yet.
It's gonna
Hey,
be crazy.
if that's the case, if that merch is correct,
Yeah.
that is gonna go for shit ton on eBay.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, you guys already have a shirt on back order right now. We're gonna make a brand new shirt because Cena's got a new title train.
right, exactly. So
No.
$40.
More WWE pricing, of course.
even if he loses, he still walks out a champion.
No, he doesn't.
No.
No, he doesn't. He
No, he
loses
doesn't.
both
No,
titles.
it just dawned on me.
Somebody,
He leaves.
if we think about it, so at least one person is going to have 0 belts.
Yeah. Unless they do a no finish, or a DQ, or a count out, because if that happens, he can keep his title.
Considering it's SummerSlam, I wouldn't try. I would not try.
Especially after the crowd tonight, I wouldn't either.
Well, here's the thing. I want to see Sheamus cash in because I want to see Brooklyn shit all over that.
That's going to happen. Keep your
Exactly,
mind.
because they will. They will. I know Brooklyn, how they were tonight. They would. I would not want to be Sheamus tomorrow night if that's happening. Or today, I should say. It's after midnight. But
Yeah. At least for some people. For others, it's like way after midnight.
yes.
So the other big announcement before we even we haven't even started talking about the show yet. Before that's how it works on a podcast, guys. You guys should know this by now.
Yeah.
So, and thank you out there once again for joining us, whether you're live or archive right now. Real quick, I do want to mention that there was another announcement that was made that does kind of directly and indirectly affect Ashley. The NXT brand is going to the United Kingdom from December 10th to the 16th.
You'll be going to that, Ashley.
No, he will not.
Oh.
They are not coming anywhere near Ashley.
I'm looking at the list.
Here we
December
go.
10th, Newcastle, north of England. Glasgow, Scotland on the 11th. 12, Sheffield, north of England. 13th, Blackpool, north of England. 14th, Nottingham, East Midlands. 15th, Cardiff, Wales. 16th, London, England. So pretty much, if you live on the west side of England or the south and you don't want to go to London, you're screwed. So, henceforth, I'll go vis-a-vis, concurrently, whatever the phrase is. I'm screwed.
That is insane.
And the worst thing is, TNA are bothering to come.
Aw, man.
Come back, Shikara. Please. Please. Fill in the gap. Go to the places WWE.
Whoa. It's so mad it glitched on you.
Yeah, right?
I'm going to start calling you Vanellope, Ashley.
Right over. About.
Oh, this is great when I'm
Okay. So, let's get to the actual show, shall we? First off, those 4 matches, like I said, they will be available this week on NXT, so check that out on the network. Apparently, there was a big reaction, obviously, for Enzo and Cass. I have no idea why they didn't put them on the live event.
still trying to figure that out, yeah.
But they'll get a huge reaction on NXT, so that works fine. And I'm curious to see how the finish plays off with the 4-way women's match, because apparently something didn't go the right way. So I'm curious to see how they fix that in editing. So a little SmackDown magic, as I like to call it.
Oh my god.
That's what you do on SmackDown. You fix it in editing. So what?
It's that thing they call magic.
Magic. Okay, so basically,
Mushrooms. Magic mushrooms, magic mushrooms, magic mushrooms.
So there's
Did you mean twin magic?
Get off now. Get off the podcast now.
One of these things is not like the other thing. One of these things should just get the fuck out.
Yes, you have been extradited from the podcast for using that comment.
We're not going that far.
I'm like Kevin Owens. That's the reaction I wanted. I just turned heel.
God. All right, let's do this.
There you go.
So,
Official confirmation. Aaron created WikiLeaks.
oh man. Oh, did he create that horrible movie about it too?
I did not do it.
Not Twitter. It is not true. It is
Where's our soundboard, Ashley?
where is the soundboard tonight?
I'm trying to work out what the shit's going on my tablet because it's just gone fucked up.
Oh God. So let's actually start talking about the show. Almost 30 minutes in. Oh, this is gonna be a long one too. My advice to you guys is just chill. Just get a beverage and just chill out.
That was our pre-show, ladies and gentlemen. 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That was our pre-show.
Pretty much, yeah. It was brought to you in part by lukewarm water. That's what Owen was drinking today. Lukewarm water out of his refrigerator.
Fuck you, man. Mountain Dew. Fuck you.
God. All right, so the show basically starts off with Triple H in the center of the ring, obviously, because it makes sense. NXT's his baby. This is the first big televised show, and
Story time with Triple H.
but this actually makes sense, and
I know.
it's not done because there's not a point behind it.
Right.
He basically said, the future is now, we are NXT. And the great thing about that is Triple H and Stephanie both, to a lesser degree, they become like uber babyface when NXT's involved. And then when they step foot on Raw, it's like, you're back to being a heel again. It's true, though. It really is.
Yeah.
So we started off with our opening contest, and we got a really nice catwalk runway models. That was probably said the wrong way. There were models with Empire State Building on their heads, and one dressed up like a taxi, and one looked like just the Statue of Liberty. And of course, we know what that means. It's time for WWE's resident Derek Zoolander, Tyler Breeze.
Is it my eyes?
I love that song, but I don't want to hear it from you right now. So Breeze comes out and he's dressed like he's a team member at Universal in the Revenge of the Mummy, because
There's a lot of fur.
he's got fur, he's got like Egyptian garb, like gold around him. He's got his selfie stick, of course, is dressed in fur. Boots with the fur.
Someone call Peter.
So do not use that voice. We're going back to Raw. I don't want to do that again. God help me tomorrow night. So, yeah, Tyler Breeze comes out, and he is in action against Japanese legend and former multiple-time champion across many different promotions, and somebody that the Brooklyn crowd definitely knew very well, and that is Jushin Thunder Liger.
They always pick the best matches to start off these events.
See, that's the thing too, Aaron. You have to understand about booking a show. You have to book the show to basically have ebbs and flows, just like when it comes to water. You have to have the stuff I'm drinking right now, which is not cold anymore. So you basically start off hot. You got to cool down the crowd a little bit. You got to hype them back up, bring them down a bit. You get to the main event. You bring something that either cools them down or hypes them up even more, and then you finish strong.
Exactly, and it seems like, WWE, the main roster, is like a hit or miss with that, but NXT, like I said, it's always a hit.
Yeah, speaking of that, it has been confirmed that the four-way dance for the WWE Tag Team Championships is on the pre-show tomorrow.
Oh, so tag team wrestling still doesn't mean a thing.
Yeah, it does on NXT, because we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I have that notation as well. So basically, Liger comes out. He's wearing his normal garb, but he's got like this. He's got cheetah print for some reason. I don't. Ashley, has Liger wore cheetah print before over his gear? It was like a cheetah vest with wings. And of course, Ashley's disappeared.
It was Ashley.
He must be having technical glitches. So we'll get Ashley back on the podcast as soon as possible. He'll return sooner rather than later. So let's talk about Tyler Breeze and Jushin Liger, mind you. Yeah, I really enjoyed this match a lot. It was a great way to hype the crowd up. Crowd obviously know that this is going to set the pace for the evening. And immediately, I know this like pulls at both of us, you especially, but the Full Sail sucks chant to the New Day rocks chant is something that they went immediately to. The only thing I can say, Aaron, in this situation in Brooklyn's defense is Full Sail kind of started this because they were booing every time Brooklyn was announced. So this is like payback. So they're even now.
Yeah, and it's interesting to say the least because we usually don't see like a home turf, home court war like this, like we saw tonight. So, but obviously seeing 2 NXT takeovers, the first 2, I think, no, the first and third one at Full Sail, the atmosphere is just like it was in Brooklyn, just 12,000 short because there's only 1,000 Full Sail live, but the atmosphere is still there with 1,000 people. And of course, tonight it was electric, as it would be.
To say the least, it was electric.
Absolutely. So, but it was fun. It was fun to see that, and got a lot of people tweeting like, "Whoa, Full Sail! They actually know about Full Sail." So, but
So we pick it up off the midway point here when Liger goes for the La Tapatia and hits a monkey flip out of the corner to Breeze. Liger grabs the selfie stick and takes a selfie. Jushin Thunder Liger taking a selfie in 2015. I never thought I'd see that.
Oh, I vined that. It was great.
Good job. So Breeze pulls the supermodel kick out of nowhere for a near fall and starts booting away on Liger in the corner. Snap mirror and a quick leg drop for a near fall, and the front chancery is applied. Liger punches his way out, whip is reversed, and Breeze hits what appeared to me the best way to describe it was like a standing bow and arrow into a lung blower. That's the best way I can describe that. And it looked awesome. And he got a 2 count off of it. Drops the knee for a near fall. The front chancery applied yet again. And he gets tossed off when he's going for the Northern Lights suplex. Backdrop. He lands on a ring apron. And Liger hits the capo kick. Whip in and tilt-a-whirl backbreaker from Liger. Heads up top. Going for the splash. Tyler gets the knees up and hits an Austin Aries-style snap crucifix driver for a near fall. Again, boots him in the corner. Liger starts covering up, and the referee backs him off, and Liger is basically covering up. He's getting pounded on. The referee backs off Tyler again, and the next time he gets caught, like literally gets caught with a shote, which is the palm strike. Heads up top. Tyler goes to the floor to regroup. And Liger hits a somersault off the ring apron, goes for the Liger bomb, back in the ring, it escapes, and the shote connects, and the running Liger bomb connects. 1, 2, 3. Jushin Thunder Liger wins clean as a sheet and bows to all 4 sides of the ring before he exits. What a great way to start off the show, and a great way to introduce fans that don't know who Jushin Liger is, which I'm sure was a very small amount of that Brooklyn crowd.
Yeah, well,
to exactly what he can do.
And I wasn't even there, including me. But almost halfway during the match, I told my dad, actually maybe he heard on commentary or in the pre-video package that Jushin Thunder Liger, I guess, had like the year he debuted, which I can't remember off the top of my head. And so my dad's like, wow, he's been in the business for a long time. How old is he? And I asked him, how old is he? And then one dirt sheet actually tweeted on their own saying that he's 50 years old. That's a 50-year-old flying around in the rain. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, completely, 100%. I mean, he's done everything. Liger did Stampede, New Japan, WCW, light heavyweight champion. Not cruiserweight champion, light heavyweight champion.
Wow.
He had a memorable feud with the late, great Brian Pillman. I enjoyed those matches back in the day. Check those out if you get a chance to. I mean, he's done stuff for Ring of Honor. He's worked for TNA. I mean, he's been everywhere. He's done Mexico, Japan.
Oh yeah,
And now he's in NXT.
Yeah, exactly. He's done it all, really.
He's got really awesome merch, too. So if you want to pick up Jushin Thunder Liger's NXT t-shirt for one night only, check that out in WWE shop currently.
Speculation that, this may not be his only takeover or only NXT match.
I kind of think, honestly, I believe Ashley and I were talking about this off camera, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick with this. I think the reason he did this was as a favor, pretty much, for...
That's what I thought.
For Regal. Because
right.
Him and Regal go back way, way back.
Yeah.
They go back to the WCW days. They work together in New Japan, so it makes perfect sense, and that's exactly the reason why he did this. Like, yeah, like I said, I've said this a lot lately on podcasts. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. So it's kind of like, okay, fine, I'll do the show. That sounds great. And the storyline worked perfect because it gave somebody like Tyler Breeze an opponent to work with. And Breeze looked great in the match. So, I mean, he definitely hung with Liger, without a doubt.
Yeah, no, he did, and I knew he would. I knew it was an even matchup, for someone who's, 20, 30 years younger, maybe just 20 years younger than Jushin Thunder Liger. Yes, even though it was another loss for Breeze, he was made look good. It was a back-and-forth match.
It was a phenomenal match, and I definitely cannot wait to see more from, like I said before, I've said this numerous times, I'm going to say it again. I think Tyler Breeze is criminally underutilized in NXT, and I really think that people like Tyler Breeze and my boy, the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, they are the catalyst for the main reason why there should be a secondary championship in NXT.
Oh, that is a good point.
And especially if they're going to start touring, especially if they're going to start going to other countries, especially if they're going to start getting regular shows, they're going to tie into the pay-per-view that's running that weekend. Because it sounds like what Triple H said in the conference call, that there's going to be an NXT of the weekend of the pay-per-views, like the big 4 pay-per-views every single year now.
Extra profit for WWE or Triple H. I don't know who it goes to, but yeah, extra profit that weekend.
And more people saying that that WWE is trying to use NXT to kill the independents.
Yeah, can't really see that. But, I mean, because, 50 years later, why would Vince still want to try to kill the indie circuit?
Well, here's the thing, though. It's not that he's trying to kill the indie circuit. That's basically saying what other people are saying. But the thing is, wrestling is thriving right now. That's the thing.
And that's a good thing.
Competition is a good thing because it makes everybody step it up, and then every promotion wins. Like Ashley was saying, Field of Honor tonight did over 2,000 people. So, I mean, that's pretty good considering the fact they were going head-to-head against such a packed show like TakeOver.
And was that more, because I heard another figure of, last year's ROH show in Brooklyn or somewhere else that WWE did a show, so they did more this year than last year?
Yeah, that's what Ashley was saying earlier. I think he said like a 1,200 number. I think that was the quote. That's
really good. For a company like ROH has been around, I think, a year longer than TNA has as an indie promotion. Sadly, I really can't get into their show on Destination America. But, that's really impressive.
And Ashley joined us for a minute and then dropped out. So hopefully he's going to have his technical glitches fixed momentarily.
Ashley.
But yeah, like I said, this match was really good. Hyped the crowd up. Really got the crowd into it. It immediately started the crowd off hot. And that was the smart thing to do. You give a big win to somebody that doesn't necessarily need a win, but you give a big name that people know. Especially in Brooklyn, they're going to know who Jushin Liger is. So you give that victory right off the top. You make Tyler Breeze look like $1 million in the meantime. That way you can start pushing Tyler Breeze down the line. And like I said, the matches he was having with Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn when he was working with the NXT Championship picture, I really think that they missed an opportunity there because you didn't necessarily want to give him the title there, but I think that there is room to give him the championship somewhere down the line.
Who?
Tyler Breeze.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Ashley, welcome back.
So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the winning this anymore.
So Ashley's quoting Network now, apparently. Ashley, thoughts on Tyler Breeze and Jushin Thunder Liger?
Ashley.
Aside from, the computer problems,
It's no worries. I've been covering it. We're fine.
this was a pretty good opening match. Everyone going, oh, well, clearly this is meaning that Tyler Breeze is crapped on because it's Jushin Thunder Liger. In all honesty, Jushin Thunder Liger isn't Sting.
No.
Yeah.
Sting you can crap on. Liger you can't really, because if it wasn't for Liger, you wouldn't have had the cruiserweights in WCW, and you
Exactly.
wouldn't have had some of the crazy stuff that happened in WWF back in the day.
Wow.
The
There's more
Liger
of a
and
nod to him rather than you were in the other company, bastard.
well, the Liger and Pillman feud revolutionized cruiserweight wrestling in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean,
Let's be honest. The guy that's currently your WWE World Heavyweight Champion isn't really a heavyweight.
Nope, no, he's not. Neither is the NXT champion.
Then again, you know why that will change on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
No, because
And later tomorrow. Yes, the soundboard is back.
Told you.
Sweet.
John Cena's gonna do it.
No, he's not. So, I will
I
say
don't
right.
want him to, but
Okay. So, it's interesting. Right after this, we cut to a shot of the Wolfpack in the crowd.
well, it's worth mentioning as well. Liger's fucking 52.
I know he is. He's not as quick as he used to be, but he's still hung pretty well in the
but
ring.
he can still do this crap.
Mhm.
oh my
And
God.
yet, Lacey Von Erich retires at age 27.
I remember that.
What's that all about?
He's 52. I saw 50 on Twitter.
God.
He started wrestling practically on my birthday. As in, literally when I came out.
It was crazy. So yeah, it's really cool to see Waltman, Hall, and Nash sitting at ringside. Basically because I was watching all the Click stuff that was on WWE Network over the weekend, and I just love that stuff.
Clicks in New York. I wonder if we'll bring that up again soon.
We're actually going to bring that up very soon because the next thing you see is Bayley in the locker room getting ready for her championship shot against Sasha Banks.
Whoa! That's not Click.
We'll get to that.
That's
We'll
Dusty.
That's
Dusty.
I'm getting to that. So you see Bayley for the first time, and she's preparing for the match, and you can see that she has black and yellow polka dots on her wristbands and in her hair bands. And it's great because it is a complete tribute to Dusty. That's how it should be. That makes complete sense that it would be that way. And it's great because Charlotte walks up to her and gives her a hug. And is like, yeah, it's gonna be great. And then Becky comes up to her and is like, I don't know. And then she kind of pulls in and she's like, yeah, that's fine. So I really enjoyed that because it kind of put the seeds down for what we would see later on in the night. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. At this point, we saw a promo. Ashley seemed like he was having some technical glitches with his airing of the show, so I don't believe you saw this promo. Did you, Ashley?
Who was it with?
Okay, then that means you didn't. So there was a video package that was filmed, and that is introducing a new superstar that is going to be soon joining the NXT Women's Division.
Oh shit! I already caught up with this on YouTube, and
Cool. Good. We're on the same page then. Awesome.
we don't need another fucking Samoan.
Yes, Nia Jax is the cousin of Dwayne Johnson.
How many? We might as well just call this the SWF.
Samoan wrestling player.
There's that many now.
So the Anoa'i family has so much roots in the wrestling business
Not even
now.
Mountains don't run it. It's the Anoa'is.
Yeah. It's like the people in the mall that run like 4 different stores. It's pretty much the same concept. So after this,
God. And we're debuting her over. We're debuting her, somebody who's got a background in nothing. Yet we've got people that bust their ass every weekend, like Vader Scott, like Candice LeRae, like I can't say any of the TNA people, but you know they should be in there because they're being not used perfectly in TNA, but whatever. Like Cheerleader Melissa, you know, all these people that have experience and know how to do wrestling and look bloody hot. But no, get another Samoan in because The Rock told us to, otherwise he wouldn't come back to us. What is this?
I mean, she's been in
That's just hypothetical. It might not be that holding them over gun, although that image in my head is kind of pleasing. So,
well, actually, she's been with Developmental since 2014. She's had 3 different names.
3 different names.
Zeta, Lena, and now Nia Jax. I like the third name better. I think it works. I think it feels better.
I actually already like her because she favorited a couple of my tweets before, so.
oh, you're biased.
Aaron is marking out over here.
You're biased. Don't you wait. You do one negative thing, she'll block you and you're on the JBL list.
No, I'm not doing a negative thing. There's nothing negative to say about her because I haven't seen what she's been able to do. JBL and Big Show deserve.
Just you wait, son. Just you wait.
I mean,
Then
wow.
again, it can't be all bad. We've still got Eva Marie.
Oh, God, at least she wasn't on the show tonight.
Who wants to have an NXT Women's title shot? Yeah, not yet.
You got a ways for that happens.
Really do.
You do know that's what's happening at the next takeover in October.
No.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be big over fans.
I think we're going to get Bailey and Emma at TakeOver.
No, it's going to be Eva Marie. Then she wins. Then she takes the title off whoever's holding it Survivor Series. She holds all the women's titles. And then manages to discard them somewhere on an episode of Total Divas, and there is no women's division because of her. She ruined it.
She can kill the butterfly belt. That's fine, but the women's division, I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of that, something that came out on Twitter this week is the fact that Greg the Hammer Valentine is the most sexist man on planet Earth.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about that.
Oh, we're bringing up AIW now, are we?
We're going to talk about Greg Valentine right now.
No, but this is AIW.
Go ahead.
This is AIW. AIW last weekend, as part of the Wrestling Geek Fest, had a show entitled Battle of the Sexes 2.
Correct.
Where the whole concept is men fight women.
Yep.
Because, you know, that isn't a bad thing. Except for Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yep. He said some really vicious things on Twitter this week.
He's on Twitter? Let me go get blocked right now. Is he?
No. He's well. Okay, I don't see. Where is he? Greg the Hammer Valentine on Twitter.
Let me tweet him.
You know, this is a guy that comes from wrestling, where it was perfectly appropriate to say to have a sign that says such and such wrestler is a faggot.
Yep, that's correct. It was a different time back then.
At the time we live in, ladies and gentlemen.
It was a different time back then.
Well, he's clearly still in it because equality to him is like.
Okay, I'm going to say, and I quote, as far as girl wrestling, I would send them all out to the strip bar and fire them. I'd fire every girl wrestler I ever saw. They don't draw any money. They have horrible matches. They're terrible. That's the way I feel.
They don't draw any money, yet NXT Takeover Brooklyn was sold out.
Hang on, whoa! Women's wrestlers don't draw any money.
Yeah. Those.
Exhibit A. Rousey.
Yeah, no lie, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, that's.
By the way, apparently that's the real wrestling, whatever that is.
God. Yeah, Greg Valentine is not a fan of this revolution.
Wow.
I just thought it had to be brought up, at least.
Oh, no, absolutely, because, it made the waves on online. But, he's got to be the only person who thinks that who's not supporting this Diva Revolution.
No, he's not. I'm sure he's definitely not.
Well, then that's sad, because then, these wrestlers who got to say something about the Diva Revolution is then they really don't know what's going on. They're obviously blind and not watching how excited and driven these fans are and are so behind the Steve Revolution. Corey Graves, we're not there yet. Well, actually, no, I can't say that yet. We'll save that for later. I wanted to say something what Corey Graves said that was very true.
Well, let's be honest. There is another fan of the Divas Revolution.
I was going to say Mick Foley, but you set yourself up like that, so... The thing about it is, yeah, it's a completely different time. It's like, okay, when you quick to judge somebody, like somebody that's older because they don't have the same views as you do, to say the least. And it's because back in those times, back when they were kids, honestly, there was a different way of thinking. And back in those days, women were valets. Women basically took the gear back to the dressing room before the match started.
And I get that part.
And now you have a wrestling industry where a woman's match can believably end a show and people don't feel slighted, people don't feel like they didn't get their money's worth, and people feel like they saw a real main event.
But yet Greg said that
back,
they don't draw money.
I hate to bring it back to the UFC stuff because, that's fake or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay, continue.
None of the men. The biggest draw is none of the men.
That is correct. There is nobody that's a draw in UFC except for Ronda Rousey. Yeah, exactly.
So it's most publicity. It's because she's the one that's breaking the glass ceiling.
True.
Who, thankfully, isn't who often breaks glass ceilings. I guess Bruce Willis and Die Hard. I don't know.
So we get into the actual second match of the show. So the Vaudevillains come out, and they are wearing top hats and ringmaster coats.
Quite manly.
Oh yes,
quite manly indeed.
Hang on.
You know where this is headed, Ashley.
Yeah, I've got to find it first.
God. Live television.
Oh! Perfect!
Oh, God.
You hear that song every week on AfterBuzz TV.
So this is the music, by the way, that Wade Barrett's going to come out to tomorrow, just because of this podcast from last week.
Oh, God. So are we talking about Regal or are we talking about Bam Stone? Because I think of both when I hear that song now.
Oh.
So the Vaudevillains come out. They're wearing blue gear. I think that should have been the first tip-off right there that I've been right all along. And Blake and Murphy come out, and it's rather interesting right off the top because Wesley Blake is wearing trunks, and Buddy Murphy is wearing long pants, like long tights. And
Alexa Bliss looks better than Blake and Murphy.
Alexa Bliss looks great at all times. Don't ever say otherwise.
Except, why does Alexa Bliss have Dalek written on her ass?
She looked like a real cheeky devil tonight.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Looking gorgeous as ever, yeah. I heart you, Alexa Bliss, like I always say. But
does she? Before we move on, real quick, does she remind you?
I didn't see it. I didn't see any of this those 3 minutes because I had an epileptic seizure.
yeah. Yeah, Blake and Murphy's entrance made Ashley go into epileptic shock.
It's that bit from the Simpsons episode when they all go crazy.
I know exactly what you're leading to. Yeah, Mr. Sparkle.
Their entrance theme is pretty bad.
So, I will say one thing about Blake that I saw. Ashley, hopefully you've caught up on this now that you've seen it. Wesley Blake looked like a cross between Chris Hero and Barry Windham. With trunks, he looked like Chris Hero because he had Blake on the back of his trunks, just like Hero does.
God.
So Alexa Bliss gets on the mic and basically says, "Looks like you couldn't find anyone. No one's going to want to help you." And the crowd, they must listen to the podcast because they start chanting. And they're like, "We want blue pants. We want blue pants." And all of a sudden, we hear the dulcet tones of Colin Cassidy, and here comes Blue Pants. Wearing a Vaudevillain shirt, by the way.
And she changed her hair.
She's got blue streaks in her hair now, which is hilarious because that's exactly what Alexa Bliss used to do when she did the pixie gimmick. And
keep in mind, she was in action last weekend as Mankind.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Was she?
Teaming up with Hot Rod Roddy Piper. Take on Vader, IR, Scott, and I can't remember who it was as Kane.
That's great. I need to check that out. So it's great because the first thing she does is she does that very manly handshake, the gentleman handshake, with both Aiden English and Simon Gotch before the match starts. And the fans in Brooklyn, dude, this chant's got to pick up quick. They were chanting Blue Pants City.
That, for Brooklyn, they are pretty quick. I'll give them that.
Well, you've got a very smart Mark crowd in that building, so obviously there's going to be a lot of real wrestling fans, and they're not going to fall for any crap this weekend. So WWE have to be on the top of their game the next two nights, like they were tonight.
That's why I really hope Sheamus wins.
The sad thing is this is putting more and more towards Lever not being on the indie scene soon, which I'm pleased for, but also it's like we're not going to see her in cosplay anymore.
Well, I think that'll probably happen because she has merch now. So I think the next step is signing her to a real contract.
Hopefully she can still do cosplay, though, because that's so important.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Hey, it worked for Charlie Haas.
That is true. Good point.
And Sandow.
Yeah,
clearly
definitely.
cosplay is the thing.
Definitely work for Sandow. It doesn't work for everyone, but I can see where it would work for some.
Oh my goodness, where is Sandow? Jeez.
He's off TV. He's the Sizzler. He's Sizzle on Up Down Down currently.
I thought you just said Sith Lord.
Yeah.
He's the Sizzler.
Oh.
Sizzle. Up Down Down. Hashtag keep it tight.
You don't need to, because this week's episode of the what's the thing?
Superstar Save Point?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. It apparently just got released today.
It had the guy from Stanford.
Okay.
What's his name?
Mm.
De Brian or whatever the hell.
Okay, I gotcha.
And his guest was Joey Styles.
Yes.
And let's just say Joey wasn't great at the video games.
So yeah, this always a chance to put over the New Day. Always a chance to put over Austin Creed.
How? New Day got over tonight. Full. That sucks.
They weren't even
sucks.
there. They got over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait till they win the titles back tomorrow night. Fans are gonna go nuts for it.
I really do think they will.
I'm sure they will at this point. So we pick it up off the late point in the match. I really like this because they went up for a tandem superplex, and Simon Gotch ended up powerbombing both Blake and Murphy out of the corner. Aiden hit the swanton and gets a near fall off of that one. Gotch tagged in, Alexa gets on the ring apron, and Blue Pants pulls her off. They have a stare down, and she gives chase, gets in the ring. Blue Pants kicked off to the floor. So Alexa's in the ring alone with the Vaudevillains. The Vaudevillains, they're gentlemen. They're not going to hit a lady, even Alexa Bliss at this point. So what happens? Blue Pants gets involved, and they fight all the way outside the ring. This allows for a roll-up on Gotch from behind, which Blake and Murphy try to steal it, but it doesn't work. Quick tag in. The Whirling Dervish connects, and the Vaudevillains are finally the NXT Tag Team Champions.
2 out of 2 for the good guys.
Yeah, more than 2. So,
Spoilers,
Ashley,
you dumb shit.
you never know. What did you think of the match, Ashley?
Very good tag match.
Yeah, totally.
There needed to be somebody to obviously be the equalizer to Denzel Washington. So they got Edward Woodward. In joke. Yeah, really good. Really good tag match. Shows you that division's pretty strong. I mean, there's plenty of people that were on the undercard that are going to be wrestling. Plus, of course, you got this thing that we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
But it's clearly going to mean that the Vaudevillains are going to get some strong competitors, possibly.
It's actually after this next match we're going to talk about it. Aaron, what do you think of the tag title match?
It was a pretty good tag team match as well.
Mm-hmm.
In like fanboy sense, the tag team titles went to the wrong people. I think it should have been Enzo Moraine and Big Cass, but in reality, the Vaudevillains deserved it, and they came a long way.
They had a really good chance to put the titles on the Vaudevillains back when they were working with the Lucha Dragons at Takeover, Our Evolution, and they didn't. So it made me think that eventually that was put on the back burner. It was going to happen down the line. With Enzo and Cass, yes, I can see where you're coming from 100%, but that wasn't the direction they wanted to go this time around. Maybe the rumors really are true that they're being brought up to the main roster sooner rather than later.
Then hopefully we see some type of title run with them because, obviously, just because they did become NXT Tag Team Champions when they were in NXT is a shame, but hopefully they become some NXT champions or have some gold in WWE because then that's, arguably they're a fan favorite tag team.
Oh yeah, of course, but I mean, it's unproven in a non-NXT environment how Enzo and Cass would get over. So that's one thing you have to look at. So they have to look at it from that perspective. It's an unknown commodity if they're going to be able to get over like they do in Full Sail. I mean, they got over tonight in Barclay, but you won't see that till next week, number one, and that was an NXT crowd. Put them in front of a WWE crowd from a place that doesn't know anything about NXT. How are they going to react to them?
Excuse me. Do we think that this week's Raw is going to be similar to the Raw after WrestleMania where we see an NXT talent debut?
At this point, the only thing I can think of right now is New Day win. They win the titles tomorrow night from Primetime Players. They come out and make an open challenge to any other tag team. Enzo and Cass come out and face the New Day on Raw. That makes the most sense to me.
Yep. I feel like Raw is going to be must-see because it's now going to be, if SummerSlam's 4 hours indeed every year, then it's going to be the must-see Raw of the year. Raw after WrestleMania, Raw of SummerSlam.
See, I look at it this way. They're not going to bring Bayley up.
No.
Because she just won the title. And Finn Balor's not going anywhere. So the obvious answer is do Enzo and Cass against the New Day on Raw. And force the Barclay crowd to choose.
Yeah, oh yeah. That'd be really
Isn't the obvious answer Tyler Breeze?
It should be, but I think that... Well, see, here's the thing with that. I think that they're going to give Breeze a run with the NXT Championship before they bring him up to the main roster. But have him show up in NXT, and then 2 days later show up on Raw. I would love that because I want to see Tyler Breeze brought up to the main roster. I've wanted to see Tyler Breeze brought up to the main roster for a long time. He's definitely ready, but it seems like they want to pull the trigger on Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, because it's not going to be for a while until we see the title on Tyler Breeze. Quite frankly, I don't think it's going to go on him until, like, after the next person that... Like, he's not going to be the next person after Balor to be the champion. So, you know, since he's not going to be champion for a while, unfortunately, that pushes back his, you know, debut to the main roster. Balor debuting on the main roster has been questionable for months, like, ever since he stepped foot in NXT. Like, you have to grow the guy into a character first. So...
He doesn't want to go to the main roster, though. That's the thing.
I know. I heard that, and that's actually pretty smart. You know, but I think we'll see Balor on the main roster by the end of the year. I think I said that before. Maybe I'm just saying it now. I think we'll see him on the main roster by the end of the year.
I say the Royal Rumble.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Because I'll be going there.
But at this point, I'm thinking that Sami Zayn's returning at the Rumble, too, so that could be the big NXT return. So
yeah, that would be wonderful.
That's my guess. That's when I think Sami Zayn makes his presence known in Kevin Owens' life again in 2016, and we start the war all over again.
Kevin Owens kills him once and for all, but really kills him.
He needs to bring some sort of a mask out when he does it so he can prove a point. So, we move on to our next match. It is just a regular singles match. It is the official introduction of Apollo Crews, and Uha got a really good reaction from the Brooklyn crowd. I mean, has he done Ring of Honor shows in Brooklyn before, Ashley?
Never been in Ring of Honor.
Where's his territory? Are you sure he hasn't done at least one Ring of Honor show? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen him on one card.
Most of his stuff was Dragon Gate Japan.
Okay.
In all honesty. Hang on. You caught me off guard. I was setting up for something else. And you ruined it, damn it.
Yeah,
right. Dragon Gate USA and Evolve.
Okay.
Plenty of stuff in that. From the same field of training as Moose. Moose. And whatever.
I don't like Moose. Okay. So, this is a big debut. Makes sense you do it in this crowd. And the crowd knew who he was.
Let's bring it up. Who is he facing?
He's facing off against the Perfect 10.
One of these things just doesn't belong. Can you guess which thing is not like the other thing before I finish my song?
By the end of the match, that was true.
See, here's the thing, though. He's facing off against another person that I really think that NXT has gold with. They want to roll with it. And that is the former Shawn Spears, Ty Dillinger. And I love the fact that he has, like, 1990 style etched 10 in the back of his hair.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was cool. I've always been a fan of this guy's work. I'm really glad to see he's getting a different shot in NXT. I mean, I did the Gavin Spears stuff, but I mean, I've followed him in the Indies in Canada, and now I'm happy that he's in NXT. And I really enjoyed this. It was a short match, but he got a little bit on it, so basically, this was a nice little showcase for Apollo Crews. Good way to get everybody used to what he's capable of. And it basically finishes with what Ashley is going to call the Eagle has landed, or as I like to call the Apollo combo, which is a very interesting finishing combo of a gorilla press slam into a standing shooting star press. Which is crazy. That's not something you normally see, especially someone that size doing something like that.
My only issue with this is Dillinger's gimmick only debuted 2 weeks ago.
Yep, I agree with that.
And you've already squashed it.
No, you haven't. Nah, don't look at it like that.
He can't be perfect now. He can't be perfect now because Eagle landed. Apollo, but Terry Creed won.
It has nothing to do with that, though. It has nothing to do with him having a winning streak. It has to do with performing a move gets a 10 from the crowd. That's the reason why the crowd were chanting 10 along with him, because the Full Sail crowd knows this gimmick. This is a gimmick that just got brought up to television, so you can tell who's following along and who's not, and obviously a lot more people are following along because they're chanting 10.
But then Uha did one better, and the crowd should have been chanting 11.
See, that would have made smart sense to chant that, but I don't think anybody thought that way.
And who were the prats with the 7 signs? Did they think they were on Strictly Come Dancing? What's that about?
Yeah, it was a decent match. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. Everything worked the way that it should have, and it showed the athleticism of Apollo Crews, and I'm really curious to see what they do with him. I guarantee you they're going to...
I question the booking thing here. Because, clearly they're trying to build hype around him because they put the new gimmick on him. Was there nobody else on that roster that could literally sort of be called a jobber but didn't wrestle?
I think they made a mistake with the Bull Dempsey Elias Sampson match they put on the show, because if they would have been able to take that, they could have had him face Elias Sampson and everything would have been fine, and then Ty Dillinger could have probably worked someone else.
Well, it seems like they're repackaging Bull Dempsey.
Oh, they are, 100%. But, I mean, the thing about it is I don't think that Dillinger losing is going to mean much in the long run. I think it's just going to give a win to Apollo Crews against somebody that definitely knows how to work and can carry a really good match, can work with him to deliver a good match, and I thought that's exactly what happened here. I don't think him losing is a big detriment to him. I think that...
Oh, absolutely not, yeah.
The gimmick just started. I get that 100%. But they haven't committed to how they want to utilize that gimmick yet. So I really think that they are going to do something with Ty Dillinger. They should do something with Ty Dillinger. And eventually they will do something with Ty Dillinger. It just wasn't tonight. That he was the right opponent for the case that would make a great match. But I totally understand what you mean, Ashley, when you say that it seems like it killed his push before it even started.
Yeah. And again, it's Terry Creed, so
Yeah, Terry Creed is the man. Yeah, Aaron, what do you think of Apollo Crews for the first time you've seen Uha Nation in the ring?
All I could say on Twitter and everybody else was saying was the same word: impressive. Left me speechless.
Yeah, his athleticism is stellar.
It's really second to none of his size in NXT. So I see a bright future in Apollo Crews. No, what's his name? Yeah, Apollo Crews. I thought I got it wrong. But yeah, definitely a future NXT champion for sure. I even see that.
The sad thing is, one, that means that Big E's time is numbered. And two, that isn't the best match that Terry Creed has had this year. Look it up on the internet, people. BB Hulk, which is spelled BXB Hulk. Don't ask me why. versus Uha Nation. Because take the high pace stuff of what happened in tonight's match, which was about 4 seconds, and take 4 seconds and turn it into 30 minutes. That's what happened. That match alone shows you the potential of what Terry Creed can do.
But it was a good way to debut him on NXT television, honestly. I thought that it worked for what it was. I mean, there could have been another...
It's a draw for the Japanese fans.
Exactly.
Because, he's had many, many tours over there in the past 4 years.
That is a very good point, honestly. So... Then, William Regal makes an official announcement that we are going to get the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is going to be starting on the September 2nd.
Very classy. I'm not trying to be controversial here, but it seems like NXT's being a little more classy about giving Dusty Rhodes a proper tribute. The reason why I say that is because we didn't get one tribute special on Dusty Rhodes on the WWE Network. We got the ticket for 3, but we didn't get like an hour special for Dusty Rhodes.
We sort of did. It was just a repackaging of the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was not that. Not that. I'm thinking of the wrong guy that died. I'm talking about Roddy Piper. Never mind.
Oh my God. Get off the podcast now.
Roddy Piper Classic. Let's do that.
Okay, so, yeah.
Hang on.
Oh, God.
Aaron, this is the IWC's reaction to what you just said.
Oh, I would love to take on the IWC. I take it on every day. No, but like it's just
you can't. JBL takes them on. Smack 'em.
Yeah. No, but like obviously, that shows you that how close the deaths were. So.
God. So, because NXT cares about tag team wrestling.
Yes.
And there is going to be a tournament that is going to start on September 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to go all the way until the next NXT Takeover on October 7th. Which, of course, anybody that knows me knows that's 2 days after I leave Orlando.
How close is it? How many days?
2.
Oh,
If I didn't already have airfare, I totally would.
Yeah.
Next time I need to start paying attention.
So that means that Ty Dillinger has 2 embarrassing defeats in a row then?
He's just getting started right now, so they haven't committed to the gimmick yet on television, so I think that...
Well, they will.
Oh, it'll grow.
The Tag Team Classic. Isn't that right, Tommaso and Johnny?
Yeah, there's some interesting people that are going to be a part of this Tag Team Classic. I will say right now that this starts on September 2nd, and I will say that showing of NXT has already been filmed.
Isn't that right, Tommaso and Johnny?
Yeah, so you're going to get a really interesting team that is going to be brought into this. So, but we'll talk about that in the coming weeks. I got an NXT video to do on Wednesday, so we'll talk about that. So yeah, you're getting like 4 days straight of wrestling here on Pop.
Wrestling!
Wrestling and Halloween Horror Nights, and movies make this channel go round. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They're gonna make Dusty proud is basically why they're doing this tournament, and it makes perfect sense. They're gonna do this. I mean, the Ascension I know are coming back for this. So
really,
yeah, I'm curious to see when they actually get brackets for this tournament. Hopefully they'll release that either online or on NXT this Wednesday, long day.
Yeah, well, does that mean like the Ascension are like officially back in NXT to be repackaged, or?
God, that would be nice. Get rid of the weird like Road Warrior ripoff
Go back to the old gimmick.
become
Go
the
back to
gimmick
the old gimmick.
that brought
then
them
they
to the main
win.
roster. I'm telling you, like I said before, seeing the Wyatt family against the Ascension was a gimmick they never really got a chance to blow off.
Yeah, but who wants to see the Godwins versus the Legion of Doom?
I've already seen that match. I'm sure Mark Canterbury loves his broken neck from that feud.
Oh.
I'm not kidding.
What an awkward rush.
Yeah. So, it's funny because then the crowd is showing the finalists for Tough Enough in the front row, and they get booed out of the building.
I thought I heard boos.
Hang on, who are the final four then?
Well,
Josh.
you have Sarah, which makes me happy. You have Josh, which makes Vince happy. You have
Yeah.
Amanda, which makes almost no one happy. And you have ZZ, which makes all the idiots happy.
Josh, Sarah, Amanda, and ZZ.
Play game now? Okay, here's the deal. One of these things is not like the other things. One of these things just doesn't belong.
Please, people, even if you're not a wrestling fan, vote for the person that doesn't look like they've walked out of a trash can at 2 a.m.
You know,
I'm sorry.
I don't know what you guys think, but like this week on Tough Enough, no fans win. It's a season where no fans win. I mean, yeah, the fans of like, if there's any, fans of Josh, Amanda, including Vince McMahon, who's a fan of Josh. Ooh. And then you have like ZZ and Sarah Lee, who there are fan bases for. I don't know if like Americans are stupid or it's just the worst, like
Stupid!
it's stupid, like, or is this like the worst Tough Enough cast I've ever seen?
The irony is, if, Sarah Lee and her Gatto and ZZ and the rest of the Brazzers letters win, and by the end of the year when the contract's up, they're no longer with the company, what did you get out of Tough Enough other than nothing?
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Very good.
Because to be honest with ZZ, I think what he's going to do is just take the money and then use it as a reason to try and get a raise for more money for Swamp People the next season.
Fans, right now, I implore you 100%, do not let that goof win. Because if you do, everyone loses.
I'm almost like pleading that, at least Josh wins. I mean, yeah, he's gonna drop the Yeti call. It's stupid, but I mean, he dropped 35 pounds, and that's impressive. And he's got the look, and Amanda's got fake boobs, so that makes Vince McMahon happy. So I don't know.
See, I'm looking at Tough Enough's Twitter feed, and I'm seeing the picture of everybody, and I'm looking at right now. Sarah looks very happy to be there. Amanda's just marking out for herself. Josh is kind of just standing there. He's like, "Yeah, that's awesome," and ZZ's like, "Where's the camera?" Oh my God! I hate ZZ so much.
Can we confirm or deny breast augmentation for Stephanie? Because motherhood can make your boobs get big.
True.
Trust me, I know from experience. Why else do you think I'm not on camera?
Oh my God. All right, let's talk about the next match, shall we?
King Barrett.
Oh, dear God. I have finally gotten to the next page of my notes.
Don't worry, we'll use up another one in a minute.
So, apparently we're going next to Baron Corbin, who is the internet's favorite whipping boy right now.
Or Delsin from bloody infamous Second Son. Why the hell are you wearing that in the promo, you idiot?
And he's facing off against the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe, which
Samoa Joe.
marks...
You take your 66 and 2%.
Don't you throw that Scott Steiner math at me.
No, but you take Samoa Joe 66 and 2% and add his additional 50% chance, and he's got a 271,892.85% chance of winning. Guess what? The math don't lie.
So, I will say this is probably the best showing we've seen of Corbin, like, ever. I can say that.
Which is a miracle to say, because he lost.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he actually threw off some believable offense in this match.
I've always thought
the
he's been
essence
good.
is he lost. The only matches he can win are when it goes all Sesame Street and the crowd learn to count to whatever number they decide to be the number.
Or that weird one-sided feud with Bull Dempsey.
Let's be honest. If that happens again, and the crowd start counting, they need to get the counts like Chuckles in the middle of it, like 1, ha ha ha, 2, ha ha. Because they'll be laughing at his wrestling.
Pretty much. But I will...
To be honest, probably the only reason why he had one of the best matches of his career, at least in WWE, is because of Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah. It's Joe.
If it was anybody else, it'd be like, yeah, rubbish.
So I will say that he locks in a heel hook on Joe, and Joe has to crawl to get to the bottom rope, and he finally gets to the rope. He ends up hitting a swinging Uranagi for a near fall, and he tries to kick Joe. He succeeds, but when you kick Joe, he kind of has that ricochet effect, where basically he does that back enziguri kick, but both men are down. Joe's up at 8, hits the snap jabs. Corbin starts fighting back, and Joe goes for a round kick, gets stopped with a big right hand from Corbin. Joe starts lighting him up with punches, hits the spinning back fist, puts him on the buckle, goes for the muscle buster, but an escape by Corbin. He big boots Joe, does a suplex toss for a near fall, and he starts punching away. He gets stopped, tossed to the ropes, and Joe locks in the clutch, but a snapmare out from Corbin. Corbin looks him dead in the eyes, and it's a choke bomb for a near fall. And this allows for the Coquina clutch to get locked on one more time, and Corbin fights it, and he fights it, and he fights it, and he passes out, and the referee stops it. Samoa Joe wins clean.
That promo was a lie. They were
Which
saying
one?
They were saying he was an NFL player.
Well, was he?
He signed with the Colts after going undrafted.
Mm-hmm.
Then was released on August the 13th, 09. Re-signed on August the 19th, 09. What the hell was going on there? And then released on September the 5th. Then picked up a futures contract with the Cardinals in 2010. Got released September the 3rd, but then re-signed to the practice squad. He's not played in any sort of professional capacity at all.
He was released in 2011, too.
He's not played in any capacity other than practice. You know, the mode that isn't even competitive on Madden NFL 16, featuring AJ Lee in the trailer.
I saw that trailer earlier this week. I mean, it puts over his heel persona. It really does. I mean,
Yeah, but,
Corbin's an acquired taste, and I've never acquired this taste. I've never been a Baron Corbin supporter, even when they were putting him over with the Goldberg treatment for a while.
See, they brought Corbin in for hype
Yeah.
at the same time as Bull Dempsey.
Yep.
They're the two fucking same person, practically. Same build, same style,
Whoa,
same
whoa.
promo skill,
Same
which is
build?
none. They're big fuckers.
One's tall, one's wide. I get that.
No, but they've got this. They've got the. If you look at their chest structure, probably El Torito could fit inside it.
That's interesting.
No, but if you look at the size of their torso, it's relatively giant compared to even somebody like Cena. Cena's got muscles like crazy, but he's got a regular sort of size man's torso.
Well,
Also,
so does.
if you look at the main roster, hang on, we've got Big E, we've got Kane, we've got Luke Harper. We've got an abundance of big guys already. We don't need any more. Oh, wait, we just signed Tommaso Ciampa. What?
We can't even talk about that yet.
Well, we don't even know if he signed, so that's why I can say it. Allegedly.
Well, considering the fact that he won a match in a tournament, I would think that that's a good possibility.
Oh, my goodness. You're spoiling it now, too.
So, Ashley, what do you think of Joe and Corbin?
They had a pretty good match. It's
Yeah.
just...
I think so.
They should have just gone ballsy and had the crowd basically try and murder Baron Corbin by winning.
Yeah, it was
Because
weird they
I
didn't
wouldn't
give him a
object to there
2-point.
being a rematch somewhere down the line.
Yeah, with the way that they actually gelled well together, their styles click really well for some reason.
Yeah. Joe can easily put people over
Oh
on
yeah,
his way
totally.
up to the main roster.
Nah, I think
Could be
we're.
worst. He could be put in the back of a van and kidnapped.
Oh, not again. Ninjas everywhere.
Where's Okada? Oh wait, he's New Japan World Champion.
So we see a crowd shot again. Ric Flair and Sergeant Slaughter are seen. Tamina and Naomi are seen, of obviously supporting
You didn't
Sasha
bring up
Banks.
Kana.
I'm gonna let you do that.
Kana. Japanese Joshi legend. Apparently, also works in video games. So it's like, this is the most awesome combination. Yay! So much so, she is sponsored by Microsoft. Microsoft never sponsor anything.
That's true. That's a very good point.
Apart from the bloody, apparently from Samoans, because, what's her name? Mia Jinx or whatever it was. Nia
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax.
Nina Jax.
Yeah, give her a name of a Mortal Kombat character.
You know why? Because then I can do Popcast and I can say Jax wins.
Yeah, but no fatality.
Well, depends on how bad of a worker she is.
Only to even fatality.
Everyone wins.
You guys saw that commercial last week. Speaking about Eva Marie, like, she's always been loved by the fans. What lie is that?
Lies. They tell lies.
That was like the funniest, and the fact that they kept like airing the commercial like at least 2 or 3 times during Even Tough Enough, because it was an hour before Total Divas was airing, and like 2 or 3 times even during Raw, because it's a 3-hour show. It was just hilarious, and just the tweets were hilarious too. Like, what lie are they telling?
Lies. I tell you lies.
No, let's be honest. She is loved by some fans. Scat porn.
God.
I would love to know these fans. Who these fans are?
They were the ones throwing steamers in the ring.
Briefcase.
God. So.
I said streamers, not briefcases.
No, briefcase streamers. Well, I saw a tweet earlier to me from someone who said briefcase streamers.
So, after this is all said and done, Stephanie comes out, makes the official announcement that the attendance for the Barclays Center for TakeOver Brooklyn is 15,589 people.
So it's officially their WrestleMania tonight because they announced the attendance like WrestleMania.
Very, very true. Stephanie says we're making history tonight, right here, right now. And the revolution...
Starting now? From this moment?
It'll be the moment.
Starting now?
It basically says that they are the main event. So Stephanie makes an announcement that I'm sure has happened since, but the first thing that jumps to my mind is SummerSlam 1990, where they had the double main event of Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude for the WWF Championship, and then they had Hulk Hogan and Earthquake main event. So they called it a double main event. That's exactly what they did tonight. They did a double main event, and this is the first half of it.
Yeah, but they didn't. Because normally, if you do a double main event, you stick it halfway down the card. You don't do them back to back.
See, that's why I said SummerSlam 90.
Unless, of course, you're SummerSlam 2015. Order now on the network, bitches.
See, that's the reason why I said SummerSlam 1990, because I'm sure it's been done since then, but in 1990 at SummerSlam, they actually had, like I said, Warrior and Rude was the first main, and then Hogan and Earthquake was the second.
Were they back to back?
Yes, back to back.
Oh.
Because Warrior and Rude was in a cage. That match was good, by the way, if you guys want to check that out on the network. SummerSlam 1990, watch that. It's good stuff. So, let's get to... Oh my god.
Match of the century.
The first half of the double main event and the greatest, and if it was Bizarro World, Greg Hammer Valentine's favorite match ever.
This was the real main event.
This is the main event of the show, without a doubt. And if this show ended with this match, I don't think anyone would have had a problem with it.
No, not really. How close are we? The next NXT Takeover, it's safe to say that the Divas will close the show. This is the second to last match they had.
I really think there's a good chance the women's division will have... See, I think Bayley and Sasha could have one last match at the next Takeover in October.
Oh, I think people would want to see that. Because now, they're getting ahead of ourselves. Their classic is similar to the chemistry that Charlotte and Sasha had.
I think in some ways it's somewhat better.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like, but at another level, at a higher level of performance.
Because the weird thing is they literally broke in at the same time, so they know each other so well.
Exactly.
Let's talk about this match, shall we? Aaron, I'm sure you'll appreciate this. I've got a page of notes for this match.
As it was kind of hard to, keep up with my coverage on my end during the match because, I just couldn't take my eyes off the screen of what I was seeing. Like, this Sasha pulling out all the stuff.
Kind of hard being the operative phrase.
Aww. Don't be a hammer.
Yeah, don't be a hammer. That's going to be my sign at an NXT show. Don't be a hammer.
Oh, God. I'm creating issues. Wonderful. Greg Valentine is going to hate me for life.
I thought you were going to say Hot Rod.
I've never worked a show with Greg Valentine, and now I really hope I never work a show with Greg Valentine, because he's going to find out and go after me.
Guess who's carrying one of the scare zones, Owen?
Yeah, Greg Valentine is in a scare zone in Halloween Horror Nights. I buy that. Jeez.
Just standing on the side of the streets. I hate women's wrestling.
That's the scariest person you'll see tonight, without a doubt. And known as...
It's funny.
And Hulk Hogan's in the next room.
Oh.
Oh, God.
You just had to mention Hogan. We're talking about a great show, and you
Hey.
had to...
I've mentioned
Hold on.
mentioned him a couple of times talking about SummerSlam 90.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Hang
Yeah.
on, I need to punish myself.
All right, let's talk about this match, shall we? NXT Women's Championship on the line. The Boss, Sasha Banks, defending against what is now referred to the ultimate underdog, Bayley. Bayley comes out. She is sporting the black polka-dotted headband and wristbands in tribute to Dusty, which is amazing. And she gets a great reaction from the crowd. And she gives the magical tracking bands to the people in the front row. Aaron knows what I'm talking about. So that's her entrance. Everything's great. Sasha Banks comes out in an Escalade.
Legit boss.
Legit boss driving her cousin's Escalade is what it is.
Oh, it's
Riding in Snoop's Escalade right there, and had security. Just literal security with her.
I wish I was one of those security guards.
I'm sure you do, Aaron.
Huh?
Huh?
So yeah, the boss was looking great tonight. Both women were looking very attractive tonight, and both women brought everything they had and then some to their match tonight.
Wow. Wow.
Are we ready to get into this now?
I don't know.
No, because Freight Train wasn't with security. We had Jonathan Coachman. We had Moose. We had Apollo Crews in disguise.
Terry Creed.
Yeah. Under his pseudonym. I think one was, what's his name? Suge Knight, or whatever his name is.
Chuck Knight.
Oh my goodness.
Go watch Straight Outta Compton, people, if you haven't seen it yet.
I saw it.
Incredible movie, one of the best
I
movies of
think
the
you'll
year.
find tonight was straight out of Newark.
Yes.
This was straight out of Brooklyn. NXT Takeover was.
All right, so
No, but you need to know the reasoning behind it. Straight out of Newark.
Uh-oh.
as we're waiting in silence for you to respond.
Damn.
Wait, who's responding?
I'm trying to get a response to what it's Straight Out of Newark.
Oh, I can't be bothered to queue up anything to do with I can't be bothered to queue up any of the music, because then we'd probably get copyright strike.
Fair enough. So, it's great because Sasha pretty much treats her like she's nothing in the beginning of the match.
Well, that was a weird glitch I just heard. I thought you said Sasha Banks.
So, she slams Bayley's head into the turnbuckle multiple times. Bayley's in the zone. Totally no-sells her. And ends up tying Sasha up to the Tree of Woe. And nails a really unique maneuver, which is a springboard into an elbow drop while she's tied up in the Tree of Woe. I've not seen that before. Near fall for two. A whip in, charges in, eats the back elbow, and Bayley with a 180 into a wrist drag. Sasha goes to the floor. And Bayley drop kicks her through the bottom rope. Like, imagine, like, the torpedo that Sami Zayn does into the Tornado DDT. Imagine that as just like a drop kick. Is pretty much what it was. I like that. That's unique. Rolls in, and she gets cut off with a knee, gets tied up in the corner. She goes for the double knees, does Sasha, and it misses. She climbs up, goes for a superplex, but it's blocked. Boot to the knee, and she gets knocked off the top rope and lands on the top rope and goes to the floor. So at this point, it's time to start going to work here, and when they get back in the ring, Bayley gets her face rubbed into the canvas. And Sasha drops the elbow to the back of the neck, and she does a spin and slap for a near fall. Sasha locks in a neck twist, and the knee in the back, locks in the straightjacket chin lock, and sends her head first into the middle turnbuckle, which is a very unique way to get out of that. 3 big forearms, puts her on the ropes, and goes to the double knee drop, but gets caught on the shoulders of Bayley, and a tip-up sends Bayley face first to the middle turnbuckle. Puts her on the ropes again, but it's stopped, and she decides to put her on the top rope. Sasha climbs the top rope and hits the double knee drop from the top rope.
Like a boss.
Near fall right there. So Sasha starts reading Bayley the riot act, as always, and sends her into the buckle. Bayley starts firing back with a drop toe hold, starts pounding away. Bayley's sent to the ring apron and gets her arm dropped across the top rope. Of course, that is playing on the injury she had with her hand, where she was out of action. And she takes off the wrist brace, tosses her in, tosses her back to the floor, and slams Bayley's hand into the ring steps. She steps on the arm and puts the fingers behind the ring steps and then kicks the ring steps. That's something unique I've not seen before. I like that.
Yeah.
And the referee was trying to stop her from doing any more damage because she charges in like she was going to dive, and the referee's like, nope, stop that.
We have seen that sort of move before. It was called Hostile.
I'm not talking about in a movie. I'm talking about in a wrestling ring. So, yeah, there were no pliers involved this time, Ashley. So Sasha gets stopped by the referee, and she wants to take over on Bayley even more to show her dominance. And she decides she wants to leapfrog over the referee and hit a tope con hilo on Bayley. Rolls her in for a near fall, a slap, and Bayley ends up getting shoved off to the floor. Sasha breaks the count at 9. Both ladies trade punches and then forearms. Toss her to the ropes, and Bayley begins her Sheamus offense. 3 axe handles, charging shoulder, the back roll, and the leaping elbow. Suplex toss, not into the ring, but into the buckle. I like that, into the corner. That worked really well. She goes for the Bayley to belly, and it gets stopped. O'Connor roll is countered. 2-way lock, counter once more, and a single-arm DDT, or the divorce court, into the bank statement. And I like this because Sasha stops the rope break, and she starts pounding away on the hand to get her to break the grip before it even gets to the bottom rope. So she rolls back, and Bayley is the one that ends up locking on the crossface this time. And she's pulling for all she's worth, and Sasha barely, and I do mean barely, gets her foot, like, on the bottom rope.
And somewhere Nikki Bella is going, thank God that isn't me.
So Bayley gets kicked off, and Bayley goes to try to bring Sasha to her feet. She does so. Goes for the Bayley to belly, and serious near fall right there. Puts her on the buckle, climbs up, and she gets punched off. Bayley gets fought off. Leaping forearm by Bayley. She climbs up. She gets shoved off, and Bayley Conrana is countered, shoved to the canvas. Well, that's not when it gets fun. So Sasha rides down the shoulders for a near fall, and the crowd are getting into both ladies at this point. They really want both women to win, and deservingly so, because this is a really tremendous back-and-forth match. So she puts her on the buckle backwards, climbs up, Bailey elbows her off. Sasha catches Bailey, and Bailey starts elbowing away, raining down the elbows. Bailey gets on the shoulders in a victory roll position and proceeds to hit a reverse Bailey Conrana off the top rope.
Jesus!
No lie, Van Dig. But seriously, that's not it. It's not it because when she gets up to her feet, Bailey finishes her off with the Bailey to belly. The fans chant along 1, 2, 3, and redemption is made. Bailey is finally the NXT Women's Champion. See, that's part of the story of this match. But that's not the complete story of this match. But before we get to the complete story of this match, I want to mention a little something that happened afterwards. I mentioned the click thing earlier with the curtain call in Madison Square Garden. It seems like we had one of those tonight at the Barclays Center.
The Barclays Center incident.
Yes, because Becky and Charlotte hit the ring immediately. They hug Bailey. They hoist her on her shoulders like it's Lex Luger at SummerSlam 93. Yeah, I went there. And then it looks like Sasha's going to play the heel, obviously. Sasha gets in the ring, and she hugs Bailey anyway.
That's what Vince was like. That's what Vince was like backstage.
And we get all four hugging in the center of the ring. And then they look at each other, and they throw out the four fingers. So yes, we have seen on television, mind you, on live television, the four horsewomen debut.
Sorry, Rhonda.
NXT versus UFC confirmed.
We're in Texas.
Oh my god. So not only did you have all four women who obviously right now
Hate each other.
they're not necessarily on each other's Christmas card list when you come to storyline.
They're supposed to hate each other.
They're supposed to completely hate each other. They're supposed to hate Sasha, obviously, because Sasha's evil. But no.
Four horsewomen. Fuck it.
It's four horsewomen, and they throw out the four fingers, and they even... Rich Brennan, even on commentary, kind of glanced over saying that, too, when they threw out the four fingers, because everyone knows what four fingers means. Everyone. Yeah. Symbol of excellence.
All it means is one away from a fist. Oh, Chuck Taylor.
So, where do we start here? Ashley, what you thought on the match?
No, that isn't the one.
My sentiments exactly. But other than the Sounders, Ashley, what do you think of the match?
I don't need to say anything.
Oh,
if you've got a network, catch the archive. Watch it. Watch it.
Yeah. Watch this whole show as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Me thinks if there's any way we can get this on the DVD package, this should be on. Well, I guess it can't because it isn't a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Best pay-per-view matches of 2015.
Yeah.
/2016 or however they do that system.
You have the 9 ladies match, the three-way stable tomorrow on SummerSlam. There is no chance anything, like most matches, are going to get even close to Sasha Banks and Bailey tonight.
Well, I always like NXT takeovers because, this one, especially being the night before WWE pay-per-view, being the fact that a big one like SummerSlam, but also the others that were like the week of a WWE pay-per-view. I like to think it makes the WWE talent work harder especially tomorrow night because it's SummerSlam. They're like, oh, NXT Takeover sold out the place. We're in this place less than 24 hours later, but we can't sell it.
But they got 4 hours. 4 hours.
Yeah, no, yeah. Here's the thing.
5 hours with the pre-show.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. Like what I wanted to mention earlier, but I glossed over it. 4 hours, yet they bumped the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Titles match off.
What are they gonna do for 4 hours?
I mean, yeah, granted, they got 10 matches, so now they basically got 9 matches for 4 hours. Is that even enough? We're probably going to get at least 1 or 2 matches that were unannounced.
I wouldn't be necessarily surprised if that happens.
Yeah.
Hang on. Angry Joe's got a thought on SummerSlam.
The game is all a hours again.
Nice. Oh my God. Aaron.
Yeah, but the thing is, of course, you know what happens after that on Monday?
The whole thing can be completed in less than 3 hours. Hours.
I honestly think the crowd is going to suffer from like exhaustion by the time this weekend is over.
I really do think so, yeah.
That might have why they have been distracted by streamer guys. By the time that match started, they'd been in there for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, because everything.
No, 2.5.
So true.
Well, don't forget You're right, 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah. But you've got this, and I'm sure the live crowd loved the fact that the first thing they went to after this match was a video package of John Cena and Seth Rollins.
And then we see Seth Rollins with his girl.
Am I the only one that missed this? Because I don't remember seeing this.
Yeah, they showed him and his girl. I was like, it's crazy. Obviously, he was out of character at that point. He was just waving to the camera like they showed Ric Flair and Sergeant Slaughter earlier.
He was good old Kobe. Good old Kobe, your friend, that loves to play turtles on down, down.
It was just really funny because I think he leaned over to his girlfriend and said, "Don't worry, honey, I locked my phone tonight."
Jeez.
Wait, what? Doesn't what his phone?
He locked his phone tonight.
Oh.
Yeah. Make sure nobody gets into it.
So, yeah.
Plenty of people lock their phones.
His name is John Cena.
So, I will say right now that, yeah, I definitely want to get Aaron's opinion on this match, for sure.
Hold on.
Good God.
Hang on. We'll put some filler in.
It was
No. Oh no, he's there. Right. Okay.
God.
No, it was like incredible 5-star match. 100 rating. It's almost impossible to describe how NXT women's matches consistently get better and better and better. Like you think they can't top themselves than the last match that they had, and the fact that Sasha Banks has been most in all of them. But for Bayley, to be in this and to have such an impressive showing that she has, we really, a lot of fans don't really know. Maybe the internet fans don't really know, but some fans don't know about Sarah Del Rey. So for Triple H to actually thank her tonight on Twitter, that's something. And you're definitely got to thank Sarah Del Rey for what she has done with women's wrestling Don't be a hammer. So
That's a new hashtag.
yeah, it really is. It should be.
Don't be a hammer.
um,
Get it started, Acer. Get on that, sir.
I mean, that's
Keep
all I
it
really
hammer.
got.
Keep it hammer. No. How about not?
Oh, that's funny. Keep it hammer. Wow.
Not hammer time.
No. So, just wow. I mean, seriously, the match was phenomenal. Believable near falls. Oh my God, believable near falls. A lot of really great ring work from both ladies. The match was phenomenal. It really was. I love the finish. I think the finish was glorious because it wasn't something you saw coming either. I mean, the reverse Rana, it's like it was like the thing you never saw in wrestling, and now people are doing it. But it still looks amazing when you hit it because it's one of those things you have to do. You have to have extreme trust in the person that you're doing it to and working with. And you can obviously tell that these two especially are going to have exactly that kind of trust between the two of them. And it was done with great precision. The finish worked really well. When the belly-to-belly hit, it was kind of like, okay, it's over. This has to be the end. I mean, if there would have been a kick out right there, it would have been believable. It really would have been. But I think it was the right decision to end the match like that. I think it worked really well. And I look at the card for SummerSlam right now. I mean, I'm looking at it as we speak. And, yeah, I would put that match against anything on the SummerSlam card. It was just a phenomenal match. It was two people that know how to work, going out there, giving everything they have, and then some, and entertaining everybody in that building. That match would have main evented anywhere around the country, regardless.
And the fact that, wins or losses really didn't matter here because the fans won. Bayley, yes, she became champion, but Sasha Banks won too. She put on one hell of a match. She just doesn't have the gold anymore. That's it. They both.
I mean, you go back to her trying to get the title of Charlotte, and when she finally did, I mean, it took a while to actually have it happen, and it was a multi-woman match before it did.
Right, yeah.
Then it meant something. And now I know that Bayley's got the championship, and I think that the next thing you do, and it makes the most sense, is you give her a rematch against Sasha Banks in October at TakeOver.
I think a lot of fans would love to see that right now. I think a lot of fans would just be like, shut up, take my money.
And I'll say this right now, I think this could be a possibility of maybe doing an Iron Woman match between the two of them.
Oh, my, talk about history making.
That is something I want to see.
Yeah.
There was one problem with this main event.
And his name is John Cena. Yes. And sometimes you can just telegraph you're going to use that. It really is.
No, we're going to, overplay that, tonight for SummerSlam because it's actually Super Slam.
It is the Super Slam.
It really is with 4 hours.
It's an NXT show. Why is
His name is John Cena.
on it?
Oh, you mean
Why is Undertaker and Lesnar on it? You've already got the network because you're watching NXT.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you advertising the network on the network?
I honestly would have used it to promote other talents and people that were not on the show tonight, or people that necessarily weren't getting a fair shake Tyler Breeze on the show tonight.
Oh, what, like any other Samoan that isn't related to The Rock?
You're just gonna hate Nia Jax, aren't you?
Well,
It's
yeah.
like there's plenty of
I
talented
see what
wrestlers
you're
who
saying.
aren't related to. They aren't third or second or third cousin twice removed generation.
Fair enough.
How many people does he really have in his family?
I'm not trying to say I'm all ego, but I'm just saying. And if the right person's listening, which he might be, he knows he's ready to be in the E. It's just they don't want to pick him up. Instead, they want to pick up, relatives of Dwayne. which is ironic because that's one of his finishes.
See, Ashley, there's a lot of people that are in the indies right now that don't need to be, and I understand that 100%.
Oh, he doesn't need to be.
I've got a good friend of mine that I'd love to see in WWE, but it's not the time right now. I mean,
The problem is Page's time was like, oh, and then I've sort of ruined it. Yeah. Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin. His time was quite a few years ago.
Okay.
I mean, like, he, in the position that he's in, he's sort of, I'd say, on the level of in-ring. He's on the level with some of the mid-card talents at the minute, like
Yeah.
Cesaro
I can see that.
and Owens. And on the mic, he's up there with Paul Heyman singing "Glory, Glory, Brock Lesnar." It's that sort of it's those people that I feel underappreciated. When you're related to this person, you get in immediately.
It happens like that, though, sometimes.
It's happening a lot.
When those people don't impress enough and get ditched, or make the Marine 2.
They'll get kicked to the side, don't worry.
It's just...
Look at Shaw Guerrero. She had a promising start, and they ended up not doing anything with her because she decided she wasn't wanting to do it anymore.
That's the thing that I'm fearing. They're doing all this hype, and it will go to nothing. It'll be a big Andy.
Oh, God, I don't want to think about Silent Rage right now.
Big Andy.
Oh, God.
Big ZZ. Big ZZ.
Big
ZZ.
Oh, no. I really don't want to think about that.
You know, I really I think if we did like Tough Enough Popcast every week, it would just be so entertaining. I think we should just do like a separate one for the finale because that's gonna be so interesting.
No. We are not doing one for the finale because that means 4 straight nights.
Yeah.
No.
I know. I'm just kidding. No. What if ZZ really did win Tough Enough?
God.
Think of the last show of Tough Talk. Because that show is proven to be way better than Tough Enough. That's a 30-minute all-shoot show. That's going to be interesting because Paige is going to rip her hair out. Daniel Bryan's going to be like, I don't know why ZZ won. And then Miz is probably just going to punch ZZ in the face for winning. But if Amanda wins,
he'll just feud with him.
Yeah,
the least said about that, the better.
Yeah, that's true. Because then Miz could probably, whip ZZ into shape and get him to do better promos. But if Amanda wins, then Miz will just kiss Amanda on the cheek, and Maurice will find out.
God, Amanda's not winning. Don't think that.
And you know who ZZ's first match is going to be against?
His name is...
They would do something stupid like that. That does sound like a WWE thing.
I'm going to accept that open challenge. I am.
And speaking of,
His name is
Kevin Owens.
Main event time. NXT Championship on the line. NXT World Championship after the UK show. It is going to be Finn Balor defending against Kevin Owens. And it is a ladder match. And yes, Drake is your referee.
Actually, technically, it's already a world championship. Because Balor won it in Japan.
I agree, but I've been calling it a world championship, and people are like, Owen, what are you talking about? It's a world championship.
After the UK tour. No.
It's further solidifying the fact that it is a world championship now.
Yeah.
I said that during Beast of the East, actually, if I remember correctly. So, this match had a lot, weirdly enough, it had a lot to follow after Sasha and Bayley. And
So much it had to go overtime.
yeah, it definitely had to go overtime. That's the reason why we got started a little bit later than we would like to. We actually would have been started on time tonight if that wouldn't have been the fact. Especially because it's just the three of us, because Cleveland wasn't able to make it tonight either, so.
A bit of a surprise. He was here with us the last time for NXT Takeover.
Last takeover, yeah, the Unstoppable Popcast, they got literally the irony of calling it Unstoppable when it was only an hour and a half that you actually got to hear. So, the weird entrance from Finn Balor, which there were multiple Finns like popping up, it kind of reminded me of Starrcade 1990. I'm going 1990 for some reason tonight, but Starrcade 1990 when Sting faced the Black Scorpion. When they had all the different Black Scorpions, like of all shapes and sizes, come out, and then all of a sudden, the final Black Scorpion, of course, the real Black Scorpion, Ric Flair, comes out from the spaceship, and he works with Sting, and that's what I'm thinking here. That's what it reminded me of.
You know what it reminded me of?
I don't see how.
Was it 27?
Okay, I gotcha.
Miz, when like 50,000 Cenas came up and sort of did a guard of honor across the ramp.
Yeah, that's right.
And then all looked like they were having seizures when they were just doing the "you can't see me" thing over and over again.
God.
It was like, I'm stuck. There's a fly, but I can't catch it.
Well, see, Ashley, one of the best parts of this is something you alluded to when we were talking off camera, but Balor finally shows up. The real Finn Balor is there in the middle, and the NXT Championship is just out of his grasp, and he's crawling, like evilly, creepily crawling towards the championship, and he's like, mine.
No, it was... My eyes really deceived me, though, because I thought Balor was, like, in one spot. I'm like, oh, he's already out there, because I guess they got to finish the event soon. And
He's
I'm like,
everywhere. He's
yeah,
everywhere.
And then I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, Jesus, it's going to be 11. They're going to be off the air by the time.
For a minute, I thought he's at the top of the ladder. He's already got the belt. The match hasn't even started, and he's won.
And we're out of time. We'll see you tomorrow at SummerSlam.
No. We'll borrow the line from the end of Shikara's journey into Shikara from this past week. We'll see you Thursday on Thunder.
That's good. I like that. Back at Center Stage Theater tomorrow night. So I like this because during the entrance, where everybody's totally into Finn Balor's entrance, he's using the demon entrance as always, because it's a special event.
Yeah,
and
half the crowd put their hands up.
Oh, that was glorious. Kevin Owens was sitting in a chair at ringside just watching this.
And for once, it wasn't Byron Saxton's.
It wasn't Byron's chair, it was Corey Graves' chair. So the ladder is striped like the referee.
The ladder is the official ref. It's like that It's like DDT in Japan. The referee is the ladder. I judge you to win.
It could be worse. You could be counting your own pinfalls. That's always a fun time.
Right, it could do it when it snaps together. It could be like, oh, took out.
I think they took the CZW ladders and they painted them black because that's the last time I remember that design on a ladder.
Oh, wow.
But theirs are yellow, and obviously that's why I said they painted them black.
Or they did it because they're going to be in a new commercial featuring zebras or something. I don't know.
It's possible. So, like we do here, like we've done with everything tonight, I got a page and a half of notes here.
Finlock.
No, same time.
No lock at all.
We'll get to that, don't worry. So Finn tries to pull Owens back in later on in the match. Owens decks him, goes for the powerbomb, gets blocked, and leap through double stomp to Owens, and Owens powders to the floor to break momentum. Now, later on in the match, Owens hits the cannonball, and Finn stops him. Owens goes for a headbutt, and the fans start with the Olay chant.
Is this before or after the table?
We are way, way before that.
It's because you say later on. It's like you're probably only going like a minute.
Hey, that's still later on, technically.
Yeah, but
Owens,
all this is early. All this is early.
Owens is super heel here, and I thought this was great the way he did it. Like I said, it's the little thing sometimes. Because the second the fans start chanting Olay, Owens looks at the crowd and gestures like he pops his shoulder out of place. That was great.
Hang on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is.
Devious heel Kevin Owens, thank you.
Oh no, that's the one.
Maniacal laugh, maniacal laugh. I thought that was awesome, by the way. So he tosses him into the ropes, and that goes nowhere. He charges in, but he eats the boot. Balor hits a sling blade, and he charges in, going for the shotgun dropkick, but of course Owens powders to break momentum. So Owens goes for the ladder, which of course is outside the ring at this point, and Finn nails him from behind, and they knock the ladder over. Finn grabs the ladder, and he drags it behind him. Owens steps on the ladder and stops him dead in his tracks. They have a tug-of-war with the ladder, and Finn gets rammed into the ring apron. Owens jabs him in the ribs twice, traps Finn in, and he runs like he's going to nail him something fierce, and of course he just stops. The fans boo, and he just pops him in the face for fun. So Finn with a forearm and starts forearming away. The boot in from Owens cuts it off. Finn tossed over the barricade, so they fight in the crowd. Owens goes to whip Balor into the barricade and sets up for the powerbomb, but it gets blocked, and he gets backdropped over the barricade to the ringside area. Balor with a springboard gets caught. Owens rams him hard into the barricade and tosses him clean over the announce table, not touching any of the commentators, by the way. So Owens at least was nice enough to throw him so he could still not touch any of the commentators. Unlike what happened on Raw, which would be a lot better of a thing to happen.
Exactly. You realise that the commentators are good players.
Exactly.
Or Michael Cole.
So Owens breaks the table apart, and everybody's like, and I believe Ashley even said this too, when we were talking off camera, it's like, are we actually going to get a table bump in NXT? This doesn't happen very often. The announce table does not get destroyed in NXT.
This doesn't happen.
And it didn't happen again.
Boo.
Because he burns. So instead, he grabs the tabletop and he throws it at Finn. He stands on the table in celebration. Owens grabs another ladder from under the ring. Owens with a ladder. That never ends well. Watch those YouTube videos. So Finn, out of nowhere, is up on the announce table, and he drop kicks the ladder into Owens off the announce table. So Owens is down. He tosses him into the ring. Owens grabs the ladder, and at this point, Balor with the tope con hilo tosses in the ladder for good measure, sets that ladder up, and starts climbing up. Owens grabs the foot, tries to pull him off. He rains down 3 elbows, and Owens tosses him into the ladder. Tosses him to the floor because he's just being a jerk at this point, because that's what Kevin Owens is great at. Better than most people, to be honest.
Especially on Twitter.
Oh, he's awesome on Twitter. I take you back to a conversation I had with Kevin Owens on Twitter about Crash and Bernstein.
No, it was just funny because like today, real quick, like this fan said like 98% of fans know that you can't not win the championship. It was like incorrect grammar, and
Of course.
Kevin Owens' response was you should not try to learn English.
I do like what he said when he came out. He basically said he was in the crowd and now he's main eventing. So
Yeah,
I thought that was a cool thing that he said off camera.
very cool.
I mean, off mic, basically, not off camera.
Yeah.
So at this point, Owen sets up the ladder. He starts climbing up. Balor gets a second ladder, and Owens tries to toss the ladder at Finn, but he misses. Owens is laid across the ladder. He charges in, again going for the shotgun drop kick, but Owens drops him with the lariat. Tosses the ladder and doesn't jab the ladder in like you normally would. He actually tossed the ladder into Finn's ribs. He picks it up and drives it into the ribs. He does a front slam on the ladder and hits the senton while he's laying on the ladder. And he mocks Balor's taunt, which is great. Another wonderful thing he does.
And you know what the crowd did?
We'll talk about the person saying boo earns in a little bit, actually. So, because I have an answer to that, to be honest. So, 3 big shots by Balor because he finally fights back. Owens cuts him off with a knee, goes for the powerbomb, gets blocked, and backdropped onto the rungs of the ladder. If you understand what I'm trying to say, is when you're trying to close a ladder, he gets backdropped onto that when the ladder's set up. That doesn't happen very often.
It shouldn't.
So, yeah, it's really dangerous. Balor sets up the ladder. He climbs up. Owens pulls him off. He tosses him into the ladder that's set up in the corner. Goes for the cannonball, but Balor moves, and Owens hits the ladder flush. The shotgun dropkick finally connects, sending Owens ricochet back into the middle turnbuckle. Heads up top, coup de grace. Match would be over if there was a pinfall involved. Not this time around. So he sets the ladder up. Finn climbs up. Owens grabs the foot again, pulls him off into the powerbomb. Owens starts climbing. Finn barely gets up, tips the ladder over, and Owens hits the corner hard. Like the back of his neck, just like a whiplash effect in the bottom buckle. So Owens is done, falls to the outside. So Finn gets grabbed, and he gets pulled to the floor. He goes for the apron bomb, and just like what happened on NXT a couple weeks ago, the apron bomb is countered, and he straight kicks him, does that field goal kick, and he sets up for the coup de grace off the ring apron, but Owens is out of the way. He picks him up, he apron bombs Balor, and both men are down, so he can't capitalize at this point. So Owens gets in the ring, sets the ladder up, starts climbing. Balor finally gets in, shoves the ladder over, and Finn gets super kicked, ladder into the face. He sets the ladder up again. He yells, "Stay down." He hits a grounded side kick, and Owens sets the ladder up again, but then again bridges it between the ropes and the ladder, so bad things are about to happen. Owens climbs up, drags Finn's body up. He sets up for the key crusher, but he gets blocked twice. Owens with a headbutt. Balor starts punching out, gets caught with 2 forearms, and sends face first into the ladder. And very, anticlimactically, he falls off the ladder into the ladder that's laid across the ropes and the ladder, which looked vicious as all get out.
I swear, the back of his head did connect with the ladder.
It did. I'm sure it did.
And I'm surprised there was no blood, just pouring out.
So Finn climbs up, goes to grab for the championship. Owens finally gets up, and he gets stomped off. So Owens is down at this point. Balor is not underneath the title, so he can't necessarily grab for it. But he does anyway to see how close he can get. And then he looks down, and he's like, Owens is down. What should happen next? The crowd knows exactly what's going to happen. Yeah.
Michael's raising the remote.
We go Shawn and Razor again. Which was also in New York, mind you. WrestleMania 10. So he gets on the top of the ladder. He steadies himself. Hits the coup de grace off the top of the ladder. And immediately sells the ankle. Which is smart because I mean, he did a double foot stomp off the top of the ladder. Of course you're going to sell the ankle. That makes perfect sense, right?
Ah, stupid.
Fair enough. So, at this point, he climbs up, he grabs the championship, and this time he finally unhooks it. And yes, we have a retaining of the NXT championship. Finn Balor walks away with the victory and the title. And celebrates as the show goes off the air. But before I go with anything else, I want to talk about a really awesome thing that I saw in the crowd that hopefully you guys both saw as well. There was a guy that was on camera for like a split second. He had a sign that was shown on television that literally said, Dana Brooke is literally the worst. I had to bring that up. I had to bring that up before we end the podcast.
Oh.
What?
There is a plain white sign that just simply said, in black letters, Dana Brooke is literally the worst.
Come on, Brooklyn. Oh.
Wow, I think we know what's going to be on this week's NXT.
Yep.
Oh.
So yeah, that was how we ended NXT Takeover Brooklyn. Aaron, your thoughts on Finn Balor and Kevin Owens?
Well, not even close to Sasha Banks and Bayley, going overtime, but I thought it was a nice follow-up. It had to be good. Ladder match between Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. So I thought it was, I thought it was a much better ladder match, more ladder spots than Neville versus Bo Dallas at NXT Arrival.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was much better than that. So I think the best NXT ladder match to date on the network. I don't know if they did ladder matches like when they were on Hulu or something. But it was a good match. It was I don't know, maybe it was a swerve at the tapings to have Kevin Owens as the NXT champion or just supposedly holding the belt. It'll be interesting what happens with that. But obviously, Finn Balor came out the victor tonight. And, very scary for Owens, though, towards the end of the match when he landed on that ladder.
Yeah, there was a couple of times that he got hit in the face and in the back of the head that I would have truly believed that he was busted open, but he never was, so that was a good thing.
And there was a lot of fans, dirt sheets were like, you can't make fans happy. That crowd is chanting, or everyone's saying online, like, we want blood, we want blood. Yes, I wanted blood, but you know what? A ladder match is really dangerous, so you might as well just shut up and enjoy the match, and just know you may not get blood in every ladder match.
I mean, I've done a ladder match before, and it's going to take a lot out of you, without a doubt. And like Ashley mentioned, like I said before we went live, Owens has got to work with Cesaro in less than 24 hours.
Yeah. Scary.
And he put himself through that.
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I don't know if anybody has seen recently that there was any sort of injuries coming out of TakeOver. I don't think so, but I don't believe anything happened like that. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't think so, though.
Even Marie got injured. Her credibility.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait to see the brackets for the tag team tournament, but we'll talk about that later.
Eva Marie teams up with Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Jesus.
I think you'll find the correct responses.
Speaking of that, Ashley, your thoughts on the main event tonight? That's fair.
Again, just watch it. Words can't do justice enough. This is the closest thing we're possibly going to get to ladder war. And that's another thing you should do your research on, involving two guys in Mexico called El Generico and Kevin Steen.
To be honest, Ashley, I think you're wrong. I think that we are going to get a ladder war somewhere down the line, but not necessarily to that level.
Yeah, you can't call it a ladder war. You got close because Owens doing the Owens actually did a Mr. McMahon. Because the way he took that bump off the ladder is just like when McMahon went off the Hell in a Cell and broke his tailbone on the announce table back at St. Valentine's Day Massacre 99.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically that. Because he just went back and landed on its,
I will say right now, no, it did not. I mean, it definitely didn't live up to Bayley and Sasha, but it was a great match for what it was. It was a good, hard-hitting ladder match. It worked really well for both competitors, and nobody looks bad in this match, not at all.
Mm-mm.
It was a great contest that was ending a great show in TakeOver Brooklyn. And I'm telling you right now, I mean, watching the show tonight, I mean, it's one of those things you're going to have to start asking yourself, has NXT outgrown Full Sail University? And my response is probably yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which sucks for people that are in Winter Park or people that are in Florida or people that are in Orlando because they're not going to be able to go to these events on the regular anymore.
I'm very happy I get to go on my birthday, let alone the tapings next month. But, if it outgrows Full Sail, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I want NXT to grow, and it's growing at a rapid pace. It
Completely.
hasn't stopped once. So if that happens, then Full Sail is going to have to get off their high horse and accept the fact that it has to move out.
I mean, I know this is a different level, but I know this is a different level here, but you have to understand what I'm saying when I say this. Like, say what you want about TNA, I know a lot of people do, but TNA outgrew the Impact Zone, so they went out and started touring, and they actually found some venues that really brought in crowds, and they still went back to the Impact Zone, they still went back to Universal. So, I mean, I could still see TakeOver being an event that they have on the road, but I still think they're going to know where their bread is buttered, and they're going to still go to Full Sail for like the TV tapings.
Oh, it could be different, because it actually very well could be different because WWE's got money.
Yep, and they're willing to invest in NXT now. That is completely clear, especially after tonight.
Yeah.
Triple H wants to put absolutely everything in NXT. I mean, they're going to tour soon. He actually wanted 2 touring groups at one point, to do A towns and B towns. I mean, I guarantee you we get a secondary championship, if not by the beginning of the year, but hopefully before the beginning of the year, we have to have a secondary championship. And, I mean, you have women's matches that are, head and shoulders above anything else on the main show, not just the show that you're watching at the time. I mean, women's wrestling is back in the WWE. It's taking a while to get there at this point. NXT is definitely the catalyst to the reason why it's happening.
Yeah, exactly. And, for Stephanie McMahon to say at a conference over a week ago, we made NXT for an alternative for fans who don't like the main product. I think that's a lie. We made the alternative NXT brand because we know our main product sucks. So we wanted to make one that the fans would like.
See, the good thing about NXT is you bring in, obviously, you have the internet fan.
Yeah.
You bring in the IWC. That's obviously NXT's main audience. Real wrestling fans. Or quote-unquote real wrestling fans. Not sports entertainment fans, real wrestling fans.
Exactly.
And you use the word wrestling, and you actually have wrestling matches, and you don't have 40-hour promos that don't go anywhere.
You forgot somebody that you got to bring in.
His name is John Cena.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, like I said, I want it to happen, but it's not going to happen now. Cena and Owens in an NXT ring, I think, would be glorious if they went that route.
You know who's going to win SummerSlam? And his name is John Cena.
No. Your merch is a lie, John. You lied to us. Your merch is a lie. I didn't think I was gonna win.
Lies.
You are wrong, John. Don't lie to all of us.
I broke my nose for nothing, but I still got a big fat paycheck at the end of the day.
And his name was John Cena. But yeah, that's...
I'm gonna find it.
Oh, God.
A lot of jokes you can make about John Cena, but, you know.
I'm a Cena supporter, 100%. It's fun to make fun all the time, but we're not making fun of John Cena. We're actually laughing with him, not at him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Cena would hear this and be like, wow, they're actually on my side. Someone that's on the internet is actually on my side. This doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen very often, and, you know, for the longest time, I really wasn't on his side because I guess I wasn't coming to the realization, like, you know, well, this year is when he started putting on good matches for the first time in a long time, I think.
Mm.
And, you know, but I think the reason I know why the internet hates John Cena so much is because, you know, yeah, he is booked a lot. And rightfully so as U.S. champion because of the matches that he's having. But they still can't see the fact that, you know, he's having great matches.
What was the line you wanted queued up to do with SummerSlam? You do it so I don't have to for a change.
What are we talking about here?
Something to do with victory or something?
Victory is mine?
No. Something like you know who's gonna win. You said it, Aaron, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
already
yeah,
said
I
it.
did, yeah. Yeah, you know who's going to win at SummerSlam?
And you're wrong.
Swerve!
And you're wrong. It's gonna be the kick to the junk again.
Yeah, but
Come here,
but
boy.
the important matter is, of course. Hang on. That's the most important bit.
Fair enough.
Actually no. That's what Brock's entrance music needs to be for SummerSlam. Screw Here Comes the Pain. Just have that.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
I find it really interesting. It just dawned on me. I find it really interesting that every NXT special event, whether it's Takeover or whatever it's called, obviously they're pretty much called takeovers now, that there's a special, like there's actually a few special entrances. Like every show's a WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that very unique. I think we'll get special entrances for SummerSlam tonight.
Probably.
Just don't know who. Because, you know, we did last year. Like, I was watching last week, and when they showed it on the network, we got, like, the National Arm Guard or something with the American flag when Jack Swagger and Rusev were facing each other.
Special entrances.
His name is John.
And it never fails.
We're going to play that until it can't be played anymore, especially because it's Super Slayer.
Yeah, you need to make sure you get that sounder for the word Super Slayer.
Check it out.
Yeah.
It's listening, not your strong suit. I'm pretty sure it's focused, but you're not hearing me. Shut your beaten down brain from SummerSlam and listen.
It never gets old, ever.
Oh, my God.
I'm calling this morning to ask if you're a supporter of the United States military.
Oh my God,
Wait
I
for it.
apologize. We've been getting
Wait for it.
all morning. I apologize, and yes. Yes, I am.
Great. Are you a supporter of the Marine Corps?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Great, because a former decorated member of the United States Marine Corps needs your support.
And his name is John C. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? I can't not handle this.
There we go. That's what I want. Keep that for tomorrow. So right now,
5 minutes and 50 seconds long. No.
So I will say right now that if you did not see NXT Takeover Brooklyn, seriously, you need to find a way to see it. Yeah, no lie, Acer. You need to see that now. Like, get ready for SummerSlam tonight with watching that. Watch that first. I'm sure they're going to be airing it on the WWE Network before the show. I almost guarantee it. I'm pretty positive.
To be honest, you could take the 5 episodes of Swerve that you're showing back to back. Just stick that in there. That's filler.
Seriously, watch this. Watch this as soon as possible. There is nothing
5
bad on
episodes of Swerve cannot match the 2.5 hours that happened here.
There is nothing on this card that's bad. All this stuff was good. All this stuff had a point. There is some literal match of the year candidates in this card without a doubt. Like everyone knew there would be, and like I said, it's SummerSlam's time. It's their turn to see if they can compete with what we've had tonight.
You know, I'm telling you, like, Brooklyn's going to be so fun for SummerSlam. It's just going to be such a different, it's going to be a different tone than NXT Takeover. The excitement is going to be there, but like the way that SummerSlam is going to be booked, there's going to be a lot of crapping on the booking, and I swear, if Sheamus cashes in and wins the championship, I just cannot wait to see Brooklyn's reaction.
I think that it's like to pay them back for the fact that they boo him incessantly after every single WrestleMania Raw. The Raw after Mania, they always boo Sheamus really bad. I think when he walks in with the championship on Monday night, they're going to be like, okay, this really sucks. Let's get the title off of him. Hey, we're going to cheer Cena because Cena's the one that's going to take the title off of him.
Right, yeah.
Oh God.
It's going to be great.
And that would be the theme of tonight because yes, I was entertained with this evening's event without a doubt.
Yay!
Watch this as soon as possible if you get a chance. Check it out as you prepare for SummerSlam tonight, which is going to be also in the Barclays Center for the next 3 nights. They're going to be in the Barclays Center, so check that out. If you want to get tickets, I'm sorry, it's not going to be possible because they are not still on sale. They're completely sold out and deservingly so.
Actually, I gotta do a plug here for NXT All Access Pass. That's gonna be tickets go on sale this Monday at noon. On the NXT Tickets website, so I guess people in Florida could go to this as well. If you want to go, it's $1,500 for a ticket. Damn mine if anybody's going to pay that much to go into the Performance Center for the first time. So.
Not if they won't let me take a bump. I'm not paying that much to act like a mark for a day.
No. I mean, like, there's stuff you get in the package, of course, like a whole shitload of stuff, but no, not for that price. No.
It's funny because they had a survey to try to decide what they were going to do with that, and that's what people agreed on, so okay.
Yeah, so I guess wrestling fans are rich-ass people, yeah.
I know for a fact that's incorrect.
Like, I was like, what? So,
have you been? You've been to these live events, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're not the richest people.
Cheap seat every time, but
exactly.
But obviously, if this is their if they start opening up the Performance Center and have like daily, I don't know, like an attraction. If they open it up like that, and it costs that much, oh.
No. What's the price?
$1,500.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and put your head out and yell.
$1,500 for a ticket, please.
Can debit cards even charge that much?
Yes. Yes, they can.
Oh my god, that's insane. I freaked out when I saw the post on Facebook. I said, "Hoo, they got tickets." I guess it's the new reality show that they might be doing for the network. So I looked at the price and said, "You out of your damn mind!" What the
No, let's be honest. What you said was,
That's basically what
Wow.
oh, that was funny.
But yeah, like I said before, you need to watch this as soon as possible. I don't know why you'd be listening to the podcast if you didn't just watch it, unless you like to hear our dulcet tones for almost 3 hours. So,
Just like Shia LaBeouf says, just watch it.
hang on, 3 hours?
we are, see, what I'm looking at tonight being we are making up for Unstoppable. That's what I'm trying to do. We're trying to make it up to the people that got
Making up
slighted
for
by
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
We're making up for Unstoppable?
We're definitely trying to, at least. Yeah, the show, new champions crowned, 2 new champions crowned, and a stellar double main event that you need to watch now. Like, literally, go on the network right as we speak and watch it, because I have a good feeling that whenever you listen to this, if you're in archive or whether you're here live right now, I'm sure it's playing, or you can at least find the archive of it, so watch it now.
Just do it.
When you see the Divas title match, you will simply go, and then when you see the ladder match, all you'll simply say is, screw it. No, screw it. Can't remember. Something in the way she moves.
So that's what we've got for tonight. That's going to end another Popcast here on Pop. And I had a great time tonight talking NXT Takeover Brooklyn like we always do. Always have fun talking NXT. Don't get a chance to really do that very much unless there's a Popcast, but that's only when there's a live event. Otherwise, it's just me talking NXT, so hopefully you still enjoy that. I will say right now that this is a great start to our long Pop weekend, which will roll on for tonight with WWE SummerSlam. 11:30 p.m. will start it. That will definitely not go overtime, for sure.
Please, no.
And obviously, Vic will be joining us for that one too. So I don't know what's going on with Cleveland. Maybe we'll get that figured out. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Vic will be joining us for SummerSlam.
What about the other special guest?
Oh.
I thought there was another. Don't worry.
No, there's not another one.
I lose track of these things.
There's only 2.
His name is John Cena.
Well, he's always here. So whether we want him to be or not. Raw, of course, will be Monday night, normal time, 11:30 p.m. And all these archives will be available the next day. I'll try to get those up as soon as I possibly can. And we're going to get our official... We had Hollywood's over the weekend, so now we're going to get Orlando's. So Halloween Horror Nights will be announced on both coasts by midweek next week, without a doubt.
Oh, like everything?
Yes, everything. So get ready for that. Real quick, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight live in an archive. Once again, I want to thank Acer for being in the chat. Acer just said replay just ended. Total Divas started playing. Certainly watch Takeover on the network or the usual wrestling resourceful websites there as well.
Total Divas started playing.
That's what he said. And her name is Eva Marie.
Oh my god! Speaking of Total Divas, like even Marie's voice on that show is just like so freaking annoying. Like, so Jonathan wanted to be my manager, and I'm just like, stop.
No.
What did she say?
Like just something random. Like sometimes she gets arguments like with her boyfriend Jonathan, and Just
You know what her response should be?
Don't touch me, motherfucker.
Yes. We will talk about that tomorrow. So that being said, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I know it's like super late or super early, depending on how you're looking at this, and if
I'm
it's
going to go shopping in 2 hours.
no lie, if it's
Joke.
if it's archived right now, it could be any time of the day or night. So in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, to steal a line from Fletcher Reed. And I will say, I never used that one before on a podcast. That was the first time. So I will say real quick, you can check out Ashley every week on the Whole Indie Show with Sandro on the SNS Radio Network. Ashley discusses the different events of independent wrestling and wrestling world in general. Ashley, what do you got coming up this week?
Probably all the fallout from Ring of Honor. Plenty of other stuff going down. Lots of rumors about WWE doing deals with people.
I heard about
I mean,
that,
that'll be anything coming out about. Certainly Ring of Honor explaining more about their stuff with New Japan, which is a big thing because it may involve Jushin Thunder Liger. And you know, anything involving Jushin Thunder Liger is epic.
And you also can catch Ashley every Monday here on Gaming with Ash on Pop. Ashley, what do you have for Gaming with Ash this week?
With all this wrestling stuff happening, and the fact that not a lot really has happened, because I think basically there is no news because everybody's waiting for Metal Gear Solid to come out, and then they'll splurge. So I think just to get some cheap marketing on that, next Monday, which is the day before release, I'll just do a cheap video just talking about nothing and everything.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'll be talking about Konami. Shit.
Oh no. And their weird connection with possibly coming to Universal soon. I don't know.
Pull the lever.
what?
Pull the lever.
Yeah, well, that'll be discussed another time.
No, yeah, might be next week's thing.
Ashley will be found also, if you want to email him, it is sticks@snsradionetwork.com, and he will be bringing back Sticks and Flicks to SNS Radio Network sooner rather than later.
Probably once we get to the glut of cinema releases.
Speaking of that, Ashley will also be a part, whether it's live or whether it is done via paper, me reading his predictions for something that starts
That
next...
good old 21st century technology of paper.
That's right. Paper or a notepad on my desktop, one of the two.
I was going to say, paper. I better send them now. Airmail takes quite a bit of time to get over.
Pretty true.
Should have sent them yesterday.
So that will lead into AJ and myself doing our Oscar predictions. So Ashley will be joining us for that again this year. So we're going to be doing our Oscar predictions starting in the end of August. And that should be really fun as always. You can also check out Mr. Entertainment at worldofwinning.webs.com. That's his website. Check that out. You would get a chance to. You can also find him on at Mr. ENT92. You can find him at Mr. Entertainment on Vine and Instagram, Wrestling Amino. I believe he has a Facebook fan page as well. You can check that out. Give him a like there. And check out Mr. Entertainment on all your social media networks.
Yes.
Is he on Bebo?
No.
Do you have Snapchat or a Kick?
I do have a Kick. I used to have a Snapchat, but then got rid of it because I didn't know how to work it.
Well, Snapchat's fun, especially for Halloween Horror Nights. So that's
For a minute, I was gonna say one of them, but it's only a few places down on the Wikipedia page. But if I did, all you'd be hearing is if it ever worked.
So as always, you can catch Pop every single day. There's new content on this channel. If you're new to this channel, thank you and welcome. And hopefully you'll stick around for a while and enjoy our unique brand of humor and fun we have here on Pop. And if you'd like to be a part of this Popcast or any other Popcast, you can shoot me an email, but I'll get to that at the end because that's the last thing I always talk about. You can check us out on moviepilot.com/Sir Owen Disney. You can go to our Facebook fan page. It's under Sir Owen Disney Pop, or search for Sir Owen Disney and Pop. And while you're at it, you can friend request me on Facebook. You can tweet me at Sir Owen Disney, and you can check us out on our brand new mobile app, which has been live for almost 2 weeks now, and it's on Sir Owen Disney on iTunes. For your iPad, iPhone, iPod, any of your iDevices, you can check it out. Don't have it on Android yet. Maybe eventually. We'll see what happens, depending on the popularity of the app. And I have some information coming up very soon about a company that I may or may not be working with, but we'll talk about that at another time. So, as always, finally, if you would like to become a podcaster, if you are a theme park or wrestling podcast, would like me to be a part of your show, or if you have trip questions, travel questions, Horror Nights questions, shoot me an email, siroandisney@gmail.com. So once again, Aaron, I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait to talk to you guys less than 24 hours, it seems, for SummerSlam, and then again for Raw. It should be fun.
Should be a great time. Ashley, once again, thank you for joining us right before you have to do your shopping trip.
Hey, for some reason. Another stuff.
And I want to thank everyone.
Sorry.
And I want to thank everyone. Go ahead.
No, sorry.
Okay. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, whether live or in archive. We really do appreciate the views you guys give to the channel, and we really appreciate that there are a billion wrestling podcasts on the internet. Trust me, I've almost counted them, and they talk about anything and everything. Sometimes they're on topic, sometimes they're not, but we do appreciate that when you have the choice to listen to a podcast, you listen to a podcast instead.
You listen to the one with Wade Barrett's dreamy eyes.
Oh, God, not that again. So that's going to end this. And that being said, we will join you guys and girls out there tomorrow for SummerSlam and then Monday for Raw. Like I said, archives will be available immediately after. And the archive for this podcast should be available in about maybe 20 minutes or so, maybe give or take a few minutes. Owen can't do math, you know this. So that being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And any parting words?
No.
I thought you said Owen can't like Matthew from Botchamania or something.
No, Owen can't do math. Everyone knows that.
Okay, math. All right.
So,
Apparently, Ashley can't do hearing properly.
Ashley can't. At least he's staying awake now. So I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.